fuck up phone. Yo, people. It is transfer deadline day. Welcome back to Danny AFC TV. Don't like to say it, but I'll say it anyway. I'm always right. I did say after Declan Rice, let me just get a tissue, that would be inactive. I know we got the loan signing of Raya. But come on now, we couldn't even come up with the money for Raya, even though we cashed in for Turner a day or so earlier. But never mind. Guys, we're going to do a lot of things tonight. We're going to rate our window. We are going to rate the best signing of the window, regardless of which team. And then we're going to try and decide out of the Premier League teams who had the best window. I don't want to talk about Keir Havertz too much because I'll just get ever so confused. So, guys, who's first in the comments? It's Joe. It's Uncle Joe. Good evening, my friend. Hi, how are you? Greetings from Bournemouth. We have taken a camper. Mate, I'd love a camper. You know that. Seriously. I haven't been to enough cities. Well, I haven't been abroad enough in my life. A couple of football games. But, I mean, just going places like Liverpool, Leeds. Like, I could name you so many times I ain't been. Do you know what I mean? Or I've just dropped in for a quick 90 minutes like Newcastle or something. Do you know what I mean? Shouts out to you, Uncle Joe. Shouts out to all the real ones. Do be getting the likes in the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. You know, I'm going to go and put it out there that I'm live now. There has been signings of plenty. I'm angry of Nottingham Forest. I know it's not their fault personally that they've taken the piss out of Arsenal. But it's funny how they can spend money on Hudson-Odoi and this Brazilian defender, Aurelio or whatever, and every other motherfucker. But when it comes to Arsenal, they loan Nuno Tavares. Look at the Tierney thing. It's just all heartbreaking, guys. Guys, do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Let me quickly get the stream out there. Who is with me? Let's hope it isn't a quiet transfer stream video. Shouts out to all the real ones. Do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Have Leicester done anything that I've missed today, mate? Was this a bid for Conor Gallagher coming in? I see Conor Gallagher's face. Let me just get the stream out there. And I'll give you all 100% of my attentions. Joe, what's that? Let's see if there's any late deals. Hopefully that Paulino deal collapsed. The guy from Fulham. I think. Oh shit! What have I done? I think Fulham gave him permission to travel to Munich, and nothing happened. Jean Arby, offender Arby. Wait right there, Jean Arby. I want you here. I'm gonna ask you a few questions, bro. Number one, rate our window. Number two, who had the best window? Number three, who was the best signing of this summer in terms of value for money, in terms of just an amazing deal? Late in the building as always, guys. Guys, do bear with me. As we all know, it was a late night last night. I was cooking for Mohamed Salah's family in an Egyptian restaurant. It wasn't Mohamed Salah's family. I've got quite a lot of contacts, haven't I? Let's see if we can just get a couple of them in. Oh, Darmish is talking. Man United have signed 3 today. The goalkeeper from Fenerbahce, is it Bin Bier? They've got Sofran Amrabat over the line. What else have they got? They've also got the left back from Tottenham, Reguilon. All strange ones. Mohamed Salah, £150 million bid rejected. Do you know what, Liverpool fans? Don't worry about him. He's 31. Do the deal and you'll come back stronger in January or next summer. Trust in me. Do you know why? Because when you sold Coutinho for 137 million, that was the making of Liverpool. You won the Champions League, you won the Championship. If you can get 200 million from Saudi for a 31-year-old, this will be the new making of Liverpool Football Club. Guys, do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. And now, quickly just onto Twitter, guys. So sorry. Jean Arby, let me see what you're saying. 1 second, my brother. Do not go nowhere, Jean Arby. I've got a lot of questions to ask you. I do believe Manny might be joining me for some of this deadline day special. A couple of questions. Who is the signing of the summer? Which team has done the best business? Selling Salah, would this be a game changer for Liverpool? I believe yes. And why no Ferran Torres? Even him now, getting desperate. Why no Ansu Fati? Why no right back? It isn't like we didn't know Timber was going to be gone for the whole season. Shout out to all the real ones, right? Hi from Bournemouth. Let's see if there's any deals. What's going on? Hello, Danny and everyone. Good evening, Linda. I'm going to give the window a 4. I went 5. I think Chelsea had the best window, best signings in James Maddison, Newcastle, new Italian defender, and Sonali. Best signing, James Maddison. £40 million in terms of value for money. Yes, he's even keeping people. Oh, did that just say the PS was at Sanagre? Nottingham Forest agreed deal for AC Milan's Divock Origi. Wow, Forest have got Origi. Wow. It's all going off. Forest get Origi. Loan. Wow. Nottingham Forest are going in. The Ansu Fati one has surprised me. Rob Holden has left the building today, guys. Forest. Nicolas Dominguez, 5-year deal from Bologna. Wow. It's all going mad. Forest have done well. Oh, shit. We're going to have to go and have a little watch along. Luton versus West Ham. Villa have got Clement Lenglet. Villa sign Lenglet from Barca. Missed that there, someone. Tommy Doyle, Man City have got rid of a lot of their kids. Chelsea have went the same sort of tactic, selling from the academy. Obviously, yeah, it does. It looks good for the old financial fair play. I'm just taking a look. Tottenham defender Tanganga joins Forsberg. Wonderful. Who gives a toss? Nottingham Forest sign who? We've seen this. Palace close to completing the 4 million signing of Holding. We've doubled up, guys. We've doubled up. Bayern Munich's move to sign Fulham midfielder United's collapsed. Man City midfielder James McAteer joined Sheffield United on a season-long loan. Johnny Evans is signed for Man United. What's this? Bournemouth in advanced talks to sign Patson Dakar from Leicester on loan. Patson Dakar is going to leave Leicester. Shame. Signed Taylor Hayward Bellis, on a season-long loan from Man City, Southampton. That's that big centre-back. Have obligation to buy him for 20 million if they get back to the Premier League. Borussia Dortmund are 2-0 up. Brand and Can has scored. Roma 0, AC Milan 1. Oliver Giroud has scored, 9th minute penalty. Man United signed 3 guys. Interesting. All right, let's wrap one up. Guys, who's with me? Please be hitting the likes on the video. Who has done the best business? Ray R. Window. West Ham in action. We will go over for the second half. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Linda, how are you, Philippe? Have you got the West? Not at the moment, no. I'm just looking at some of the deals going on, mate. I will do, though. I will do if you give me a few minutes. Tottenham agree a fee with Nottingham Forest. Yes, for young winger Brennan Johnson. Shame. I like this kid. And he's going Tottenham. Tottenham ain't had a bad window, mate, considering the loss of Harry Kane. Man City have completed the signing of Nunez. Chelsea, Cole Palmer, 42.5 from Man City. Very interesting. Ansu Fati, I find that one incredible as well. Doing all right, Danny, mate. Happy it's the weekend. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Man City, Chelsea, same sort of tactics, selling the kids. It might come back to bite them on the arse, but they've probably got another load of kids coming through their academies, the bastards. How come Nottingham Forest have got 8 million for Chelsea, millions for the Brazilian club, millions for everyone else to do all these signings? But when it comes to Arsenal, it's a loan for Nuno Tavares. Kiefer Moore has gone Millwall. Man United have got their backup goalkeeper. Palace has got Henderson. Callum Hudson-Odoi. It says 5 million. It was reported it was 8 million earlier to Forest. What a load of bollocks. How happy are you with West Ham's window, mate? I have a feeling West Ham might try and sneak in for Conor Gallagher. Someone's going to try and sneak in for Conor Gallagher. Tottenham, West Ham. I'm telling you, this window ain't done yet. There's 1 or 2 big moves left. 10 past 8 in the evening. Guys, do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Who's with me, people? Seems all quiet out here. Where is Manny? I'll go and inquire for Manny soon. See what Manny's saying. Luton 0, West Ham 0 so far. Stevenage, you just said sign the striker from Man U. Well done, well done. Let's see where Manny the man is. Interesting. Phil, I'm happy with what we've done. I reckon we can make a couple of late signings. I have a feeling you're going to go for Conor Gallagher. Someone's going to go for Conor Gallagher because they've just signed Carl. What's his name? Carlton Caldercamp. What's going on? This is talking about Colchester. Fuck them. I wonder how Man United fans feel. Tottenham, Brennan Johnson. Bastards. Like, they've got 2 wingers, 2 good wingers, Son, Krujewski. Now he's the 3rd guy. Exactly what Arsenal needed. Cole Palmer. I've got to stop forgetting this geezer's name. 42.5 million. Ansu Fati. I don't believe it. Man, you get Amrabat on loan, guys. Oh, wow. Arsenal, as I said, after the Rice and a little loan for Rare, we were done. The Rare, I suppose, is a bit of a business. Lamb chop. Fucking don't talk to me about lamb chops. Why can Forest give everyone money today apart from Arsenal? We're still shit. Even letting people go, mate. I'm telling you. Only reason why we got that 7 mil for fucking Turner was because Dean Henderson weren't going to fucking Forest. Right, guys, do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. It's funny how they go and spend money on Hudson Odoi. Where's the people? Where's the boys from the group? Where is everyone, man? This is all a terrible effort from the real ones, like. Let's try and get some people up in the building. Uncle Joe, what are you saying? I'm happy with this. Oh, hold on, there's Wi-Fi. Grievo, yo! I was always right, bruvs. No more signings at Arsenal Football Club, bruvs. Always right, bruvs. Hold on, the year before. We drove to Spain. Hold on, with a camera. Hold on. How's Wi-Fi? It's our last trip to the UK this year before we drove to Spain in November. Sounds wonderful. It's obviously a very nice one to be going to Spain. Andy Carroll has gone France. Wonderful. Who remembers Andy Carroll? That sounds wonderful. Very exciting. I'm okay, my little pork chop. Real one here, my realest of ones. Bro, what am I going to do with my pictures, bro, since you and your magic hands couldn't fix them? Are they ready for their bin? Do I just get some pound shop lights? Well, I tried it, bros. I bought like 3 sets of lights from Amazon. Do you think I could get any of them working? They work, bro, but only from my laptop. I need them to work on a plug. I bought brand new plugs on all types. Shit's out there is mugging me off, bros. Bros, why is Nottingham Forest signing everyone? Hudson Odoi, people from Brazil, all for cash today. When it comes to Arsenal, they have nothing apart from a option to buy at the end of the season. Tavares 12 mil. I don't believe it.
Fuck that. You want to go anywhere near that motherfucker, sister, I'm telling you. Oh, that my new striker's fit for his debut. Where was we? Grievo, who's going to fix these lights for me, man? What about them? And anything from Amazon doesn't seem to work. The lights that I had in Archway that I put under the counter in my kitchen, they worked. I might go back to that shop, but he's a knockback user. But I might go back to him and see what he can do for me. Guys, what do you think of the... Hold on. West Ham, Olympiacos, Freiburg, and Becker Topola. Group A, Europa League. What do you think of West Ham's group? Group B, Ajax, Marseille, Brighton, Athens. And we've gone to a break, so... Group C, Rangers, Real Betis, Sparta Prague, and Aris Limassol. Shouts out to T in the building. Group D, Atlanta, Sporting, Sturm Graz, and Rakow, whoever the fuck they are. Group E, Liverpool, Lask, Union Saint Blowjob, and Toulouse. Liverpool have got a nice easy group. Group G, Roma, Slavia Prague, I Shot the Sheriff, and Servette. And Group H, Bayer Leverkusen, Quarbag, Molde, and Hakan, who defeated someone in Scotland last night. Aberdeen, I do believe. Group F, Villarreal, Rennes, Maccabi, and Panathinaikos. Villa drawn against AZ Alkmaar, Legia Warsaw, and Zinski. In the Europa League, Aberdeen are drawn with Frankfurt, POK, and Helsinki. Interesting. And that's about that. Right, who's with me? Hello, Grievo. Grievo, where you gone? Yo, T, man. Bless to all the people. Yeah, I have to do something with these lights. They've pissed me off. They've so pissed me off. Oh, don't talk to Linda about this. I see something about Formula One. What's this? Losing, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what's going on here? Doesn't say who's on pole anyway. Oh, 5th in the 2nd place, but McLaren's, Oscar, whatever. Liverpool, Salah. What do you think is going to happen, guys? Remember, the Saudi window stays open a bit longer. Lewis Hamilton finishes 17th. Boxing. Liam Smith weighs in at 11 stone 6 pounds. I've got to set all my streams, guys. Can anyone tell me the ring walk? What time is the ring walk? Live on Sky Sports box office. We all know this. What time is the Eubank Smith ring walk?
I found this on the web.
10 seconds, my people. Right. Hold on, guys. It ain't telling me. Can anyone tell me the ring walk? Alright, forget that link. It's full of shit. Uh, 2 seconds, guys. See, Sky says just before 10. Adam Azim is fighting. Someone from Ukraine. Which won't take place before 9:30. Alright, so it's about 9 PM live, so sorry people, because Adam Azim is fighting as well. Where is the whole card? Oh, what? This one reckons around 10 p.m. There's loads of fights, though. I'm gonna have to go 9 p.m. Guys, who's with me? Do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Guys, do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Alright, let's forget this bullshit. What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? Whatever happened to Manny? Manny? TikTok. Alright, fuck it. I don't want to do this like while I'm live, but it can't work, not at that price, man. I don't know. I've just done 5 quid each, la la la. Anyways, right, guys, who's with me? Alright, guys, who's with me? It seems quite a quiet one tonight. It seems like it's a quiet one. Oh, yeah? I like that. A whole lot of love for you, Danny AFC TV. Ah, that's a nice YouTube email from YouTube. How much? Hmm. Sorry, guys, this is YouTube. Having a little argument with them. That was quite nice from YouTube. All right, fair enough. We can now get into this live video, guys. They're taking the piss out of me. Oh, what's this? Huh, I'm gonna have to do this later. They're mugging me off like. Alright, let me do this later. Done. Motherfuckers. Bros, the latest transfer stuff, I'm kind of pissed off. There's nothing from Arsenal. It's Tottenham, mainly Nottingham Forest. Tottenham are trying to get rid of people. They've got Brennan Johnson coming in, Ansu Fati. I'm very surprised. Wait there, Kai. You're not going to be on a rude one today. Ooh. That's unexpected. Rah. That's a madness. Hold on 1 second, guys. Now my phone's going mad. Hold on, Manny's in the building. We're going to take everything as it comes now. Hold on. My phone is just doing a madness. Right, let's get Manny involved. Ty. Everything apart from Arsenal. The Salah one will be interesting. Talk to Manny to hear you.
Yep, how have you been, brother? Today it's been a bit of a funny sort of day. I wouldn't say funny in the sense. Went to the gym in the early afternoon, came back, had some grub, and then slept for about 3 hours. I mean, not even 3, barely 2. Still feel a bit knackered, but listen, you call, I come running. I'll be here for about an hour. And you know what? I share your anger. Arsenal have done jack. I mean, they've let go of Bob Boulding, which is quite nice. They've sent Tavares to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
But no incomings. And once again, our transfer business is like, Arteta's cooking skills, non-existent. If we allow Arteta to cook, he's going to burn our Sunday roast. I don't know about you, but I am not fond of having burnt Yorkshire puddings and roast potatoes.
Exactly. I'm just writing down the people we sold, like Mari 4 mil, Axaka 21, Trusty reported 5 mil, Turner 10 mil. What I told you a few weeks ago, Manny, I'm sure it was you, I said we'll panic. Everyone, I didn't think Tierney would go on loan. I thought he was a good enough player to get us money. I'm sure I referred to you as at least money back, 25 mil, yeah? If we had left it today, possibly. Look at Forest today. They're buying people from Bologna in Serie A. They're buying Callum Hudson-Odoi for 8 million from Chelsea. They confirmed Tavares, but on a loan. We still have got this inability, even though we got Rice. But let's talk about just the way we do business on the sales. Like, mate, Tavares is better than a loan. We haven't got a backup left back. In fact, our only left back at the club hasn't started a game this season.
Yep.
Am I just ranting or like?
No, you're not. You're absolutely not. And listen, also what's been doing the rounds on Twitter is this guy named Gunner King. His real name is Chris, but he goes by Gunner King. And he is one of the most, blatant. I mean, I wouldn't want to say rabid because that's a bit harsh, but he is very passionate about his backing of Mikel Arteta, saying, he has to be trusted. And I believe after the Fulham game, he went on that channel, which won't be named, and then, uttered his, drivel, which went completely viral and had so many top gooners saying, what magnificent stuff. We need to listen to what he's saying, and basically saying, people were complaining that Arteta wasn't really trying to do anything different, not really having a plan B. And now that he's trying to do something different, we're all jumping on his back. But I just called him out, and if you take a look at my profile, I've just called that rubbish out for what it is. There's such a thing as responsible. Yeah.
Do send it to me because I'll have a right one-on-one with him because I want to see if I even follow or I even recognize him. Send it to me. I'd love to have a word with him. Because
oh, mate,
they're all full of shit, mate. People do this for mad attention. Like, I don't know. Like, again, if you speak to some really sensible people, and it is, I'm not going to just say like to me, you or certain people in my groups or whatever. I was speaking to a French dude earlier on. My car had a bit of a trouble. Do you know what I mean? Went into a garage.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, Arsenal, whatever." Anyway, yeah. And then we've went into our 8-minute speech of blah blah blah. And even though he thought I was being a bit hyped after finishing second, he goes, obviously he was Ghanaian, and that was the first bit of confusion, Manny. He goes, like, why would you put a world-class midfielder at right back? Why? And he went as far as to say the Saka mistake the other day that led to the goal was because Partey isn't a natural right back, etc., and blah, blah, blah. What I'm saying is, Manny, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Do you know what I mean? Why would Ben White... Why would Ben White become a centre-back? Is it because Gabriel is now the new Saliba or Guendouzi? Is he now got a bad attitude like Tierney? Do you know what I mean? What's up with Gabriel? I'm sure he'll start playing again now, but obviously for me, my hunch is I'm always right. For me, we were actively trying to sell Thomas Partey and Gabriel this window. Number one of them wasn't playing. Number two, the others at right back. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, in other news, the Luton and West Ham are goalless on Luton's home ground. I can't believe they got that ready. But anyway, listen, this whole thing about attitude problems is really nothing more than just a cod to fool the people, to be honest. Yeah, because if he wants to try and experiment with something, it means having to go with a plan that's different from his own. I quote tweeted that idiot by saying, "Look, there's no talk of responsible experimentation here. It's just irresponsible experimentation because he's so keen on dying on the hill of this inverted nonsense that he's effectively prepared to replace a left back who can't defend with a right back who can't defend. But if he had kept faith in his one traditional left back who can defend and also attack, we wouldn't be in this mess in the first place. The only problem is, we know that the inverted system will provide some really sexy, seductive attacking football in the midfield, which might be the envy of the league, and it might give us, some really inflated XG stats.
Hold on, Manny. It gets tougher come this Sunday against Man United, yeah?
Yeah, and I'm actually going to segue into that. And that really is fine when you're playing against middle-of-the-road teams, but against the bigger teams, you're going to be found out. And last season against Manchester United, albeit not in the corresponding.
Hold on, was it fine against the middle of the road teams, West Ham, Forest, Palace, respectively?
We played against Forest, and we were good in the first half, but in the second half, we completely sat back and allowed them to come at us. Against Palace, we got a penalty. We didn't have too many chances compared to them, and we ended up holding on after Tommy got sent off. And that Fulham game was absolutely disgraceful because we were supposed to beat the Cottagers by at least 2 goals. Yeah. Now, against middle-of-the-road teams last season, it worked a treat. But when it came to the bigger teams like your Manchester Cities or what have you, more often than not, we'd get found out. And near the end of the season, we also got found out by other teams because we became too predictable. Again, if you're going to use this inverted stuff, every single team is going to know, oh, this guy Arteta loves to invert. He loves to, have his defender cut into the midfield and leave the defense stretched. So the idea is play a high ball over the midfield, catch the defense cold, and then you're going to be in on goal and you might get to score. And it's happened 3 times this year. So there's no talk of experimentation. It's old wine in a new bottle, and it's stupid.
So hold on. Let's do it like this. Me and you know it's all bollocks. Now it's going to be how long we persist with it. Like, how stubborn is he? I actually do see Partey being at right. No, Partey might not be at right back. Yeah? But will he start? So what I'm saying is, Gabriel, surely, unless it is a massive attitude problem, he should be installed because he won't be sold in the next few hours, I'm pretty sure. Gabriel Saliba centre-back, Zinni left-back, right-back, I'd imagine Ben White, which was the way it was last year, And
Yeah.
that is a little bit my point.
Exactly.
Last year we did finish second. It was a decent season, and it wasn't exactly broken. I know the Timber thing has happened, but you can still revert to the Ben White at right back, Gabriel centre back, the way it was. Now, Thomas Partey, I actually can still see, even if he doesn't play at right back, which I hope he doesn't, and he goes Ben White, I suppose. What happens in the centre of midfield? I actually can't see him dropping Havertz yet.
No, I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. After the stinker that he had against Fulham, he will probably. I actually think that he can't be that stupid to keep starting Havertz. I mean, you would think that he'd be smart enough to have learnt from the mistake with the other Chelsea reject, Willian Borges. If he hasn't learnt, then he really is stupid. And the problem with a lot of our Arsenal fans is that you can.
Hold on, mate. Hold on. I'm on your Twitter. Hold on. I'm on your Twitter. Don't say it. The person's obviously got me blocked. Can you text me the person's name? The person's got me blocked, so I actually can't see.
Oh.
What a cunt.
Yeah, well, listen. Yeah, his name is Egal. ETV
Oh,
Egal.
yeah, he's the one that called me a racist. I thought it was him. Yeah, that's the prick that called me racist. Said I want all Muslim people to die. Yeah, it makes sense. He was the one right at the start.
You said that?
Mate, right. See, this is things. I could Google it, mate. Before me and you ever started talking, you see the people that listen to me and view me now? I've got a decent network, yeah? The first year of my YouTube career was going to be very good, yeah? And then Terry Floors from Football Terrace, for whatever reason, the white individual, decided to team up with a girl and basically say I was the worst thing since sliced bread. And yeah, I have no idea why. I'll tell you the reason why. I can send you the clip. Are you aware that I was on Football Terrace?
No, not really. And West Ham just taken the lead. A dreadful error from the Luton keeper Kaminsky, palming it into his own net.
Hold on,
he won't want to look back at that.
But
go ahead.
With me, because obviously a lot of people like Easy and that are very, very close spiritual people to me. So when the whole Muslim slur come up here and was all over Google, like if you Googled my channel, basically the first thing that come out was, you know what I mean, racist, wants all Muslims to die. Obviously, I had to have a couple of words with Googles and whatever formats, you know what I mean, even though I'm not qualified to do that, but with own threats of mine, do you know what I mean? I had a guy that basically works in the local mosque in Stoke Newington having to come on my channel, who's known me as a family friend, just basically, defend my name. Not that I think that helped a lot of, it kept all of the Muslim people, let's just say straight, that still actually had an open mind and believed, you know what I mean? Because if you look at my group now, do you know what I mean? And if anyone from the group is here, I actually can promise you, like, I must be me and WB and Grievo, if you see his name in here, are the only white people on this group. Everyone in my group is Muslim. So as I'm saying, 50% of my viewers at the time obviously took it for the bullshit that it was, and 50% obviously fucked off and, you know what I mean? If you want the truth, I had a Somalian kid come up to me the other day when I was buying a new green top, and he basically said, "Oh, you're that guy that wants Muslims to die." I basically looked at him in his eye and said, "My brother, you look at least 14 years old. Don't get involved in big men's business because I'll throw you in front of the moving bus." Probably not the best thing I said, Manny, but that's how much it annoys me. I'm not a racist. I'm not fucking this and that. And, mate, imagine, this is Terry fucking Floors, whatever you want to call him, Football Terrace. He has a big network. And do you want me to tell you what happened?
He's a pot stirrer, is that guy. He's an absolute pot stirrer.
I went on his channel, made my debut, yeah?
Yeah.
Called DT a bit of a wife beater, basically. This was before it was proven, and he went jail. And then 5 minutes after the stream, even though I got banned from Twitter immediately because of all these guys, and racist slur and everything, I would have visual evidence, which a lot of my boys in the group have seen the visual evidence because they see all the screenshots of Terry basically saying, "Listen, DT, Robbie have refused to go back on." Remember, this is before him being in jail. Have refused to come back on my channel. It was a bit of a bad idea taking you on. I wish you luck. You seem like a great character, Danny AFC TV, but I can't work with you again. So immediately I did attack him. I'm not going to lie to you, Manny. I told him he was a no good cunt, you know what I mean? I told him he was all the obscenities in the world. And then the girl situation. There was even a video where I got actually surrounded at the Emirates by a whole lot of funny guys, you know what I mean? They all asked me the question, do you know what I mean? And I laughed it off in the way that I would, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many people have tried to, and I don't tell it to everyone, Manny. A lot of new people don't know that and think, wow. And immediately, if there's certain things I can tell you to Google now that will come up right now, my face all over it, unbelievable. The cunt himself, Egal, yeah? Do you know he made a video about me? He called it a hate crime video. He said I should be arrested in jail. He made a video just about me. He made a 60-minute video. If it's still out there, basically you can see it. It's basically called hate crime or something.
I mean, listen, I mean, I don't want to get into, you know, all of that, but I know that he's an absolute idiot. And, you know, he's actually become a bit of a regular on Mr. Flewis' channel. And I think there was another controversy between him and another YouTuber, Brandon from True Gunners TV.
Oh, wait, stop
Apparently,
it. Hold on. Brandon was his lapdog. Yeah. Me, a girl, and Brandon used to do streams together 3 times a week. Yeah. There's a lot you don't know, innit? Yeah, there's a lot you don't know. Now
The
he's
more I know.
He tried to ramp with this white boy. I don't know about the other cocksucker called Brandon because he's just an attention seeker. I'm not even going to class him as white, and I don't want to get into the race thing, yeah? But I told Brandon at that time that this guy was making up bullshit against me, yeah? I don't know what he's got you with your little 40 YouTube followers for because he's changed his whole YouTube name and everything. That True Gunner is, yeah, it was, what was his name? I can't remember what his pathetic channel was called something else. He's had an argument with a girl. They've both gone their favorite separate ways, and he's changed his whole YouTube channel.
Yeah, that whole argument basically resulted from Brandon saying that the team played like a bunch of kittens, for want of a nicer word. Egal took exception to that and started mouthing him off on Terry's channel. But listen, now you know. Do not get involved with Mr. Flewis again. Maybe in hindsight, you probably shouldn't have responded that way to him, but I can tell you right now, Flewis is nothing but a pot stirrer. And it just goes to show that if you want to try to get some sort of clout on YouTube and you get yourself involved with all of these people, all you're going to do is ask for trouble because the publicity you get, it just won't be worth it. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really want to get myself involved with Flewis, with the Spanish.
No, what it is, mate, you're nice and everything.
What I like about
nice. I'm not a person that can be told what to say. We don't audition. You get Danny AFC TV, as I'm sure you know, innit? Do you know what I mean? With all respect to everything, me, you're a very nice-mannered person. You could probably work with a guy like Terry. See, the thing is with Terry, they say one thing, I'd come through the camera and have to start screaming people and shaking them down. And that's not me saying anyone else's character ain't that nice. I just say things the way they exactly are. I don't hold back, and I'll do it live. Do you know what I mean?
Brother, listen. I may sound nice, but I'm just diplomatic. If anyone tries to mess with me, you know, I'm going to bring them down to Chinatown. I told you.
I'll tell you what I've done briefly. So again, the Terry thing, I was a bit deep. So I did spit bars. I did say a couple of nasty things, but I found out something about a member of Terry's family. Do you know what I mean? That he's a London boy. And sort of mentioned it in my bars in a very, very, very cocky way. Something about the doctor couldn't help a member of his family. So it was a horrible bar. I can put lyrics together. But you know what? You lot fucked with me first. You said I don't like certain, a whole fucking race of people, bros. Fuck them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, ironically, I mean, the whole beef between DT and the Spanish Gunner started when DT accused the Spaniard of being a racist because he didn't like Mesut Ozil.
Yep.
I mean, I just think, you know, that when it comes to being on YouTube, all the controversy between these people, you know, just these war of words, Chinese whispers, sometimes I feel as though it's not really worth it.
But you know, like Yui, you know, obviously he's Muslim. You've seen all the boys on the group. You know, I mean, you've seen Juma coming to the channel, innit?
Yeah, Juma as well. I mean, I miss the guy. How is he?
Or Jordania, right next to Palestine. Yeah, he's on my group. Yeah. And bro, they stayed with me through all of this. Yeah. So please don't even think this for a minute. You know what I mean? As you've probably already worked out, a girl is an attention-seeking little cunt. That again, mate. Oh God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I actually watched him on another stream. I believe it was with an American guy named TJ Warren. Egal's Canadian, by the way, and apparently Egal was just giving it to a lot of people, including Jez Collins, you know, the host of Arsenal, The History and More, this venerated old geezer who's about 60 years old. I have nothing but respect for the fella, but Egal doesn't. And so Jez came on and schooled him, basically, telling him that you need to treat people with a lot more respect. And that idiot was saying, no, respect has to be earned. I don't care how old you are. I mean, seriously, I just can't with some of these people, you know? And if I ever see that idiot on a stream, I will literally rip him a new one. I'm telling you right now, because I can't stand it when people try to, you know, be a little bit too loud or obnoxious or mouthy or what have you. And you already know about my feelings about the Spanish Gunner after that whole controversy between him and that friend of mine. I mean, if you can't say anything nice, just shut your trap and stay in your lane.
Spanish Gunner may
Yeah.
be one of the biggest critics in the world, yeah. But as far as I know, he wasn't trying to literally
Yeah.
close down my YouTube channel and come up with an idea as disgusting as that. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like he can at least he at least knows to an extent when to stay in his lane, even if sometimes he forgets where to do so. But if people are going to just go out of their way to attack other people and just be completely loud and mouthy, I mean, is it really worth it? And sometimes it just makes you wonder, what's the point? What's the point of doing all of this crap? Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to come on podcasts. I'm still going to try and reactivate my mate's my departed mate's old channel, God rest his soul, and do whatever I can. But look, if anyone tries to muck around with me, I'm going to blast them for it and make sure that they get ripped a new one. You can count on that. But anyway, enough of all these controversies. Let's go to the. Let's go back to center.
Hold on. Thanks to everyone that's bigging me up in the comments. Yeah, because obviously, it was a mad time. Certain people would know, like Linda, for example, knew every example. Right, Lucas says 7 out of 10. What's that? Your window?
He can't be
people
serious.
you just mentioned, like that Brandon dude. Luca's actually streamed with him and everything, but again, Luca won't know none of the history. He won't know about Brandon changes his name, the whole girl thing. They're all dicks, mate. But let's leave that one for a minute, guys. On our show,
Let's leave it. We shouldn't have even gone to that, because I was talking about basically how a lot of people have been trying to stick up for Arteta, saying he has a right to, experiment and do what he wants with the team as he sees fit because of the success that he earned. But let me tell you one thing. He bottled it. Let me tell you. There's a difference between challenging for the league and bottling it when you're so far ahead. And so it is your damn responsibility to do what you can to improve the team. And if you want to change things up, you've got to try and adopt a plan B, which goes against the fiber of your being. All he's doing is continuing this ridiculous inverted stuff. Everyone knows how predictable he is. And there are going to be a lot of other teams in the Premiership now who won't really fear Arsenal. And that's what worries me.
I've just had a text message. I hear Felix could be on his way to Barcelona. Someone else that I would have snapped up.
João Felix. Oh, right. And did you hear the one about Cancelo potentially coming to Arsenal?
No, Cancelo apparently.
That's a bunch of absolute rubbish. But
no, that was apparently just a smokescreen. Apparently, there was talk saying Arsenal will let Barcelona get Cancelo as long as we can pave the way to get Eric Garcia. Unbelievably.
I mean, don't you just hate it when you have all of these, three-way transfers? I mean, we saw it with Aubameyang and Batshuayi and Giroud.
I think and that's why a lot of these things, like when people say, why don't a lot of swaps happen? Yeah, that's why swaps don't happen on Earth, bros. It comes down to all dumbness that none of us want to know about, image rights and things that, you know what I mean? Players like, all right, Frank de Jong been a good example. Him being owed money by Barcelona. Allegedly, there was something to do with Harry Maguire. The reason why he wouldn't leave Man U to go West Ham is something to do with bonus payments and everything, if he hangs on for another few months. So again, things happen that you'd think, why couldn't that just happen? You know what I mean? Like the Mkhitaryan Sanchez was a very, very, very rare deal. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But guys, do get the likes on the video. I want to ask everyone right now, Manny included, who has been one of the best signings this summer? When I say again, not just because it was 100 mil or whatever, value for money, whether it was to say though, whether it was someone like, I don't know, a nice humble £7 million Turner at Nottingham Forest, Dean Henderson at Palace. Which team has done the best business in this window? Salah, if he does leave for up to 200 million, even though Liverpool are going to be slightly screwed this season, I think they'll be okay. They could still scrape top four, but I believe Manny will be a game changer. When they got 137 for Coutinho, they bought Alisson, they bought Van Dijk, and then they won a Champions League and a league title. Yeah, this is a game changer. Salah's 31. It's time for him to go, and
No, listen. The problem with that, what you mentioned there was that Alisson and company were brought in after Liverpool reached the Champions League final against Real Madrid that season in 2018, only to lose it because Loris Karius literally threw the ball into the net twice to hand Real Madrid the title. And so they sold Coutinho and got a good deal of Bob for him and used that to strengthen the side. But this Liverpool team is coming off a failure to reach the Champions League, and they had to huff and puff before blowing the Magpies pies down at St James's Park, giving them some form of hope. And at least, you know, they got an away win. I mean, they could barely even buy an away win last season. But if they were to sell Salah at this late stage, who could they buy to replace him? And even
Well,
if
they
you were to
can't
consider
this
that
year.
up front, they
Hold on, they can't this year, but the thing is, yeah, unless Saudis are just stupid, and I'm sure they aren't, you know what I mean? You can't be that rich and be thick and dumb. As like Darmish would say on Sky, mate, this is the optimal. He's 31. Imagine he got injured in the next couple of months and it was a bad injury. You know what I mean? He probably won't. I'm just saying, mate, you're never going to be offered 200 mil for a 31-year-old again. You know what I mean? Without doing the obvious maths, if they can't get him in January, you know what I mean? He'll be licking 32. Salah's a guy, unlike Kane, that does rely on his pace and trickery. As soon as he loses a bit of that pace, you know what I mean? He might not be the same Salah. Obviously, he'll be able to cut it in the Saudi league. But again, Liverpool, for me, they must sell.
But then again, who do they replace him with? Who could possibly be that person? Because, I mean, in as much as Liverpool suffered without Sadio Mane last season, if they were to lose Salah, mind you, then that would be a huge chunk of their attacking impetus taken out. And so they're going to screw themselves all the way to Sunday again this season. I really don't know if Klopp would be willing to do that, especially if, you know, his job could be on the line.
Well, again, if personally, even if it was Saka right now, and I knew he would do the right thing with the money. But again, Saka's 21, not 31. Do you know what I mean? So it is completely different.
I think he's a bit older than 21, but whatever.
No, again, I'm just saying, mate, there's a massive difference in age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. You're absolutely right in that respect.
Arda Güler, I spoke about Arda Güler, Joe Montana. I'm sure you've heard me talk about him. I have made streams over a year ago with his name in it. So come on. Even Turkish people have asked me, how did you make a stream a year ago? And I still, a year later, until he joins Real Madrid, I didn't even know who he was. Or until he made his debut for the Turkish national team. I know football crazily.
You've got such a keen eye for talent. It's scary. I mean, I take a look at a lot of these big YouTubers. I don't think too many of them have that keen eye that you have. So seriously,
but mate, again, like you again, yeah, I would love to earn thousands. Let's be honest, from YouTube, yeah. But again, at the end of the day, I came into this channel not thinking it would be even probably get where it would be. It wasn't for money, la la la. I knew I had a very keen passion for Arsenal, was very outspoken. But again, players like that, it wasn't the first one. Arda Güler, bro, I'm telling you, go look at a stream. Just you can go to YouTube, yeah, and go in the search bar, Danny AFC TV, and then basically hyphen whatever, and then Arda Güler, and you'll see the streams 1 year ago. Mate, I screamed passionately for 20 minutes. He hadn't made his Fenerbahce debut. Or you'd made his Fenerbahce debut that day. 7 minutes. Yeah. I've seen 7 minutes of football from his debut. Yeah, he come on in the 83rd minute. In the next 7 minutes, I decided he was class and he should come to Arsenal. And I directly made a video and put his name in my thing.
Yeah, I mean, of course, let's not forget that you're not always right. A certain Mykhailo Mudryk is proof of that. Still can't find his feet at Chelsea.
Hold on, again, I so had a wish that Brighton didn't go for Ansu Fati, let us have him, and Mudryk go there. Dzegri is no fool. Dzegri, I don't know if you remember when they brought Mudryk on last year at left back for the last few minutes, and basically Dzegri put a comment on his Twitter saying like, "What are they doing to you?" Do you not remember nothing like that?
I think I might remember that.
Anyway, basically it was Dzegri came out after to defend himself and just made it very clear. This guy has got so much class. Under the right man, he'll win the Ballon d'Or. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm just saying is about that. I'm still slightly defending myself. Mate, I can tell you 10 players that have probably joined Chelsea in the last six months that are not going to fulfill their potential. Yeah? So say though,
yeah. Listen, don't get me. I've seen Mudryk play on a few occasions, and you're right. He does have some ability, and I'm not going to mug you off over that. Don't worry about that, because look, unlike certain other players, he's got time on his side. Havertz has been around the block for a little bit longer. He may still be doing the business for Germany, but at club level in England, he's pretty much flatter to deceive. I don't care about that Champions League final winning goal. Like Jerzy Dudek, that's probably going to be the one thing that defines his club career, really.
But at the end of the day,
But
that's a very good thing to say. If you actually still ask me right now, and people would probably laugh right in my face, who would I rather, Havertz at 65 or the 69 that Chelsea got Mudryk for? I take the £4 million.
I get you. I get you completely. And I'm also going to be fair and say that the absolute turmoil that the likes of Mudryk and Aubameyang went through at Chelsea last season did not help. Seeing Tuchel get sacked, seeing Potter get sacked, that whole run of horrible results under Lampard. I mean, who in their
million might not make it at Chelsea? Yeah. I'm sure he will, but even Mudryk might not make it. Raheem Sterling, people that were at Man City, England internationals.
Yep.
They can break the spirits of anyone, bros. Aubameyang. You know what I mean?
Yep, completely. Ironically, Sterling has looked in really good form for Chelsea of late, and yet Southgate has seen it fit to drop him. He also hasn't recalled Nick Pope either. I mean, I don't even know what's going through Southgate's head half the time. But we are, of course, let's go back to a few transfers. And I was actually on a transfer stream earlier on with a friend of mine who lives in Malaysia, about 2.5 hours ahead of my time zone. And he was obviously talking about Spurs' business. I tell you what, Brennan Johnson is a really, really good piece of business. He might fall under the British quota, but he has looked one of their best players. And as a regular international for Wales, he does do the business for Robert Page and help them really do as well as they can in the qualification campaigns. Why Forest want to part ways with him, no matter how much money they're receiving for him, I wouldn't know. Because now, once again, they're trying to get all of these big/medium names on loan. And will Cooper get them to gel again, or will they be in another relegation season? And why Montiel would want to leave Sevilla, the same Sevilla who are in our Champions League group, to come to Forest and slum it, for Pete's sake? Is it really all about the money?
It really is all about the money, my friend. Seriously, you'd be surprised. Like, come on. Forest have obviously been trying to get a lot of people. Like, they've made some sensible signings. Like, but who was I thinking about just before you mentioned Seville guy? Who was I thinking of? Oh my God. Sorry, back to Brennan Johnson. That was another guy though. I was talking about him last January, saying a very sensible player. The only bright light at Forest, even better than Gibbs White. I was like, there's two players there. Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't have been my first choice, but I badly believe we need a natural winger, Manny. If Martinelli or Saka get injured, if Martinelli or Saka get injured or don't perform the numbers or better the numbers from last season, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean, we do have Trossard, who is a really good jack of all trades without being a master of none. But then that's not going to be anywhere near enough.
When we started him the other day, though, on the false nine, when we started him the other day, this is another reason why I just don't like. He was irrelevant for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got your chance as a striker. Fucking take it. Emil Smith-Rowe was another one. I don't think we've spoken in the last few days. That would have been a sacrifice we would have made. I did say we'd make a big sacrifice. You know what I mean? If we was really offered Mudryk from Mudryk for Emil Smith-Rowe, mate, again, personally, I would have took it.
I get what you're saying, but as I said in reply, if Pochettino can't get a tune out of Mudryk, Arteta sure as hell won't. And he sure as hell can't get a tune out of Kai Havertz either.
See, Mudryk,
problem.
maybe I'm wrong. Like, Pochettino's quite a fair guy. And it was an interview right at the end of the American tour. He went, a lot of this is down to Mudryk, innit? He goes, I need to sit down with him one more time. But, yeah. But, like, agreeing with myself, it ain't a lack of talent. Maybe it's just, I don't know. There is something up with the guy. Maybe he's a bit, he needs love. He needs an arm around his shoulder. I don't know.
Oh, mate, absolutely. Some of these players do need all the support and encouragement they can get.
Hold on, here's a nice one. Thanks, Danny, and everyone here for welcoming me and my wife. I always enjoy watching your streams. Thank you so much. This is Manny here with me. He does quite a few watch-alongs with me. I thought I'd throw him in on a deadline day video as that. Yeah, that's because I just wanted to see his thoughts on everything. Hold on, Ben White. What about Ben White? Hi, Manny. Hope you're all good and the family are well. It's Jean RB. You worried, Ben White?
All good, Johnny. Thank you very much indeed. And I hope your family are well too.
You wanted Ben White desperately. No. I remember. I never actually mentioned Ben. I remember saying Dunk, who played for Brighton as well. I actually said after the Mustafi. I know what stream you're talking about. I said after the Greek dude, Popolopodopoulos, the Mustafi, all the other little shit centre halves we've had. You know what I mean? The Holdings. I said I wanted a big brute like. You know, a John Terry if it was out there. I mentioned Levi Colwell, and this was a stream that was a long time ago. Do you know how long I've been talking about Levi Colwell for, buddy? Since he was on loan at Huddersfield, I've been talking about Levi Colwell. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Ben White, yeah.
Oh, interesting piece of news over here. Kasper Schmeichel has left Nice. There could be a chance that he might return to the Premiership for a final 2 years or so.
Who needs a goalkeeper?
What?
I said, who needs a goalkeeper? Bowen has started the season well. Sorry, I was just watching. Yeah, I'm watching. May as well say the name. Fuck it. Sky Sports News. I thought it said breaking. Roma 2-0 down at home. Leo and Giroud have scored. Celtic have signed Paulo Bernardo from Benfica on loan.
I'll tell you something right now. In as much as I'm glad that we got to see Aubameyang play at his best, selling Olivier Giroud was one of the stupidest pieces of business we could have ever done.
Again, I see the quality of Giroud, especially since he's left the club. I just don't believe we play that type of football. Ozil used to think 100 miles an hour, and then he'll do the lovely through ball. Giroud wasn't fast enough. He'll just go backwards, hold it up, and send it out to the wing.
But that was the thing. Like, you know, here's the thing. Some of these centre forwards don't really offer you that much in terms of basic link-up play or what have you. But when it comes to scoring goals, they're just quite peerless. Maybe Aubameyang at the time when he signed offered that little bit more that Giroud couldn't, and so maybe we decided to dispense with his services. But still, I mean, when you take a look at the way he's managed to achieve so much for Chelsea and with France, and is now still kicking it with AC Milan, you just wonder. I mean, what might have been. And this is another example of how sometimes, if your system isn't working well enough to accommodate some of the best talents in your team, there comes a time when sometimes you might need to change your thinking and get the best out of the players that you have. That's called experimentation. You don't just throw in some random people in random positions just for the sake of staying true to your philosophy, especially when your philosophy hasn't won you jack all for God knows how many years. Jesus Christ.
What was his scoring record? I don't know. See, that's what I mean. I never liked Giroud. But I actually get what you're saying, but I never liked him. For me, he just never fitted the style.
I mean, listen, if you remember that outrageous left-footed strike, almost like a flamingo, if you will, where he hooked it over his head and into the goal. I mean, that is one of the most outrageous and unforgettable goals in Arsenal's history.
Now, hold on.
More outrageous.
Hold on. That's because you didn't have to think about it. I remember being at games, yeah, when Ozil would put him through or whatever. He just didn't. He seemed to like be slow, like almost like he wasn't intelligent. I don't know, like. Sanchez used to move at 100 miles an hour and think of something. And I don't know, he ended up just being a guy that would hold it up well. But for me, it slowed it all down.
I kind of get that. And his league record with Arsenal was 73 goals from 180 games. Career-wise, he got 105 goals from 253 games. And that isn't too bad. That isn't too bad, especially when you consider that anything sort of like, you know, a goal every 2 games, he basically got 2 goals every 5 games or something like that, and that wasn't too bad at all.
I think, hold on. It depends what you feel. Hold on. Again, I'd almost complain of that with Saka. For a striker at Arsenal, I don't like that kind of stat. There you go.
I get what you're saying. Obviously, Aubameyang at his peak was simply unplayable, and he was, you know, banging in goals left, right, and centre.
And that is a proper striker. That's what a striker does.
Okay, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who plays for Marseille. And of course, he's played 3 times for Marseille, and I think he scored a couple of goals. And his record with Arsenal was 68 league goals and 128 appearances, marginally at a higher rate than Giroud. And his overall record is 92 from 163 games, slightly less than 2 goals every 3 games. That is beautiful.
Exactly. Hold on. And how many of them was from the left wing? How many of them in the last few months of his career was he just going through the motions because he didn't want to be on the left wing?
That is the problem. I mean, his stats from 2021-2022 weren't exactly good reading. 4 goals in 14 league games, 3 goals in, I believe, the League Cup, and that was a hat-trick he scored. Didn't play a single game in Europe because, of course, that was a season when we weren't even there. And then, you know, again, you can't just play him out of position and expect him to do the business. And the more I hear about the France thing, and the more I hear about the France scandal, which effectively, you know, was the straw that broke the camel's back, the more I still think he was hard done by. But you know, it is what it is. We moved on without him, at least in theory. But we still don't really have a goal scorer who is capable of banging in 20 a season the way he did. So,
well, remember,
you know, is it worth it in the long run?
If I remember correctly, Gabriel kind of said, mate, always love you, see you soon, and still respect you or whatever. And who knows, Gabriel, maybe that's why he ain't even in the team now, even though it was a little while back. Revenge, maybe it's served up another time. I don't know.
Oh, I hate this sort of delayed punishment. I really do. For crying out loud, Arteta, how petty can you be?
Well, again,
Mikel Arteta, if you will.
Mate, it showed you how much he didn't like Tierney, yeah? He tried Jacob at left back in America. He tried Tommy at left back. And then begrudgingly brought him on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And with Tierney, I'm sure it ain't an attitude. With Tierney, I'm sure he didn't bang on the door and say, I demand to play. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's ironic because Balogun was the type of person who was demanding to play. Martinez apparently wanted to play with competition. He didn't blackmail the club, and now both of them have gone. I think Tierney was also trying to be a good professional, but maybe, you know, he got a little bit more sympathy, and Arteta decided, you know what, I've got to be the big man here. I cannot have him, you know, getting all the love and sympathy from the fans. It's all about me, me, me. Narcissist.
Well, Martinez again. I can't massively confirm that. But again, Balogun, I refute that 100%. I'll go back to an interview that he had at Christmas, halfway through his loan in France. And I knew from there, and I done a stream immediately and said, you know what I mean? There was obviously something wrong. He goes, I wasn't loaned here because I wasn't trusted or I wasn't better than Nketiah or Jesus or whatever. It was basically to become a man. He goes, well, what else could he do to me? He sent me out to a place where I don't know the food, can't speak the language, in a team that I don't know none of the players, and I'm smashing it. So in my eyes, I'm now a man. It's over to Arteta. As I said to you, Manny, anyone that goes on loan, whether it's Lokonga, whoever, Tierney, has no future at this club. The only one that come back, remember, he had his number took off in Saliba, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Because he was forced into that. I don't know if it was Edu, Mertesacker. I remember the Mertesacker interview I told you about. You know what I mean? We all have noticed what Saliba has done.
An absolute shocker over here. Apparently, there's talk of Hugo Lloris making a very late switch to Newcastle. And also from Luton. I think Luton have had the ball in the net, but they're checking it for a possible offside. If it is an offside, then the goal will be disallowed. And I think the referee has made his decision. So no goal for... Actually, it's West Ham who had the ball in the net. Emerson who scored, but... Yep, that's offside. So Luton is still behind 1-0. But there is talk of Hugo Lloris possibly going to Newcastle. I really can't see that happening. I mean, I know that Nick Pope is still doing quite well for Newcastle, even though he does have a moment of madness in him, as proven last season when he got sent off against Liverpool. Dubravka's a decent understudy. So if Lloris goes, I really can't see him playing much of a role there. I was expecting him to go to Saudi. I'm surprised that deal fell through, to be honest.
Maybe he asked too much. Who knows? Don't really care about. Another thing I'm thinking, and I've just been sat here thinking, the Saudi window stays open. Yeah, you see against Man United on Saturday. Yeah, on Sunday. Havertz will be a central midfielder. Partey, I reckon, will still be a right back. If all that same bullshit's going on and Gabriel's on the bench, yeah, I'm telling you, mate, they could both, or at least one of them, go Saudi. I'm telling you. Excuse me.
Yeah.
One of them could go Saudi. Because Partey, again, yeah, I don't know why you put him at right back. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, we all know why he puts him at right back, so that he can go into the midfield and leave it a three-man defence. And yet, one more hostile pass from Havertz or Saka, and then we can see the similar goal to the one that Pereira scored against us. Seriously, this is another example why I call the inverted system the perverted system, because it may, when it looks good, it does look really good, but when it looks bad, it looks absolutely horrible, and we concede these needless goals.
I'm going to tell you something, Manny. This is another thing I've said in the last week on YouTube, and I've been saying it before a ball was kicked, yeah? I really hope you've heard me at least once. Arsenal and Man United have both made the same mistake, where they've dropped out a Fred or a McTominay, and we've dropped out Partey to accommodate a more attacking midfielder, yeah? They went with Mount and Fernandes, and we've gone with Havertz and Odegaard, yeah? Bro.
Yeah, I think I might have heard that. Yeah.
Okay. What have Man United done now? Yeah? I know Mount's injured. Believe me.
Yeah.
They haven't got the money right now. They couldn't even get their Cucurella because it was cheaper to get Reguilon. Mate,
I mean,
they've got Amrabat, yeah?
They've got they've got the backup goalkeeper now, Bayindir from Fenerbahce. He could actually challenge Onana for the number one spot with Henderson now gone to Palace.
I doubt it. I've got a Turkish correspondent. You know, you be on the channel. Fenerbahce fan. He reckons he's not a good goalkeeper, but who knows? That would be
surprising. I mean, he's made over 100 league appearances for Fenerbahce over 4 seasons. You don't get to do that without being a decent goalkeeper. 6'6", very tall, certainly in the mould of Edwin van der Sar, at least in theory. I think he'll get a chance in some of the cup competitions. Certainly not the Champions League. That's Onana's territory. I mean, you can't not play the guy who was runner-up last season with Inter Milan, for crying out loud. But back to what you were saying about Manchester United, you do have a point. I mean, money is a bit too tight to mention for them as their
hold on. Let me just finish the point, though. At least the manager has realised that the new system with the 2 attacking midfielders to create more chances, like you were saying, in theory, hasn't worked, yeah?
Exactly.
And now I believe he's going to go back. Casemiro was getting run around. Rice will get run around by better teams. And now, I reckon he's going to put Casemiro alongside Amrabat. You know what I mean? And
if they've got Amrabat, that's perfect. But another player
is a bit more ignorant. He'll play this out, I reckon, until, I don't know.
You bet. That shows he still hasn't learnt from the Willian debacle.
Exactly.
And Luca, as always, buonasera, amico mio. Come va bene? Good to see you as well, as always.
Good evening, Luca. I haven't done deadline day. You ain't missed much, mate. You ain't missed much. Hour 45 to go.
Right. Callum Hudson-Odoi has confirmed that he's gone to Forest, and a bit of a surprise. We were talking as well about the Fati deal, him going to Brighton. And one of the biggest things about Fati is that he will be paid a little bit more than the others, sort of smashing that wage structure. But the mitigating circumstances are that it's a 1-season loan deal with no option to buy. And for one of the best young players in world football today, it might be worth it. I don't see many of the other players begrudging the club for that decision. What do you think about that?
I think it was a win-win, basically. Desegri is a very good manager. As I said, he'll get a tune out of Mudrak. By the end of the day, what shocks me more is, which I can't believe even Arsenal didn't go to Barcelona for a Rafinha or a Fati. You could have done good price deals, I follow all football closely, Bro, again, even though they'll magically fix it, there's so much in financial turmoil. New kids coming through the academy, they can't even afford to give them contracts. Gavi, as far as I know it, still, even though he hasn't said he's leaving, is literally playing on a fucking day-to-day contract because they can't actually give him the money. So that's the Ansu Fati deal was desperation to get that money off the table and give them a year to sell some other cunt, give him the Ansu Fati money, and then bring him back next year. So again,
Certainly a good deal for. Certainly a good deal for Barcelona, and Brighton are getting a really good talent on their hands, as long as he doesn't mind slumming it in the Europa League.
Exactly. So again, over to Ansu Fati, do you know what I mean? Because Barcelona again, they'll probably want some other Galactico next year, or a Gundogan on a free.
Yeah. But I think somebody said in the chat that Villa had made quite a few good signings. Obviously, Zaniolo was a really good buy. Pau Torres has slotted into the defence quite perfectly after Tyrone Mings' injury. A lot of us are expecting Leon Bailey and Luca Digne to be sold, but they've actually played their part in Villa recovering from that 5-1 shellacking they got at St James's Park.
I never thought Bailey. I thought he would like Bailey. He's speedy and everything, but yeah, he was just a bit raw.
Too inconsistent and sometimes lazy in the eyes of several Villa fans. I've got a mate who's a big Villa fan. Shout out to Villa TV. Bailey Francis is his name. And he was telling me that Leon Bailey is a little bit, inconsistent, sometimes lazy, doesn't really apply himself. I think Emery has just spoken to him and said, son, I really do like you, but you've got one final season to prove yourself. Otherwise, you're on your way out of here. And what Villa have done is that they've sold quite a few of their youngsters. I believe Archer's gone to Sheffield United, among others. Jacob Ramsey, I think, has also gone. But he's put some buyback clauses in them. So the idea is that they get some experience at some smaller clubs, obviously, and then if the club feels as though their services will be required, they can certainly buy them back. And it's a bit like how we had the option to buy back Cesc Fabregas, and we could have taken him back, only to say no and see him go to Chelsea. A fat lot of good that did us, by the way.
Let me tell you something. That's a good point, Luca. Hold on. I'm going to stop you, Manny. Why don't we sign a left back? But this is, again, a load of bitch things at Arteta. Mate, we already had two, KT and Tavares. Yeah? You keep one of them as a backup. What I'm saying is Arteta doesn't do the right by Arsenal Football Club. He does the right by Arteta Football Club. And this is something, love or loathe Wenger, he never used to do. There'll be no way a Pepe would be exiled out of training while you try and sell him or give him away for free. Do you know what I mean? Wenger wouldn't have had the disrespect to do that to a footballer. Especially a record signing until Rice came in. Which other responsible manager, and you know you need, and this is a guy that is mini Pep and worked with Pep Guardiola, you need two players for every position. Yeah? Zinni's injured at the moment. Who is our backup left back? Every super fan is going to say Tommy, but mate, again, Tommy's questionable at right back. You know what I mean?
He played well at left back in one game, and then Arteta wanted to continue him. And then we saw him, play like a duck out of water in subsequent games.
So again, I don't get super fanned off by that one game against Salah, even though it was incredible. He's a hard worker. And I'm afraid to say, not in any political way, all Asian players are fucking hard workers. And for me, they give their all. I'm just getting my charger money. But again, tactically, physically, technically, whichever way you want to put it, he isn't a first-team starter for many Premier League teams. He's a good, solid defender. He can go left back, right back, centre back. But again, I've never been a fan of jack of all trades, Manny.
I agree. I mean,
but again, hold on. I go back to the point though. Two players for every position. I don't see four centre backs right now. White, Gabriel, Saliba, Jacob. All right, that is four. But White is going to be needed at right back. I'm pretty sure right now. Or you really want to keep Partey there? Yep, Barcelona signed Felix on loan from Atletico Madrid. Amazing. Amazing. Nice. Just talking about them, yeah? They can't give contracts to their youth, but then they go and get Felix. And what did I tell you? If it was you, Manny, I guaranteed everyone, yeah? Whether it was Liverpool, Arsenal, or West Ham that got Felix, it was Felix or the manager at Atletico Madrid. The manager signed a new deal. He stayed. I said Felix wouldn't play again.
Yep.
We could have took him on loan.
Yeah, definitely. And that just goes to show how, lazy and unprofessional Edu and Arteta are. They haven't even been willing to look at the Spanish La Liga for some potential talent. I mean, Emery was able to do that by getting Pau Torres to come to the club, and Torres has been an absolute, steal. He's done really well. And now he's got the team cooking. And they're also aiming to be a lot more ruthless than when they were last season, because last season they dropped quite a lot of points because they were too defensive, including against us when we played them at Villa Park. And if they hadn't have dropped those points, they could potentially be in the Champions League this season. But Emery's doing his bit to try and put that right. He told Ashley Young to leave because obviously Young was an excellent performer last season, but, you know, over the hill, coming near to the end. Now he's at Everton and finding it really difficult. And he's trying his best to sort of keep the squad, you know, refreshed and evolved, selling the young players with buyback clauses, buying some other good talent from other leagues around Europe. And that is how you do the job. You don't just do it half-assedly like Arsenal are doing. And that is why Unai Emery and Eric Ten Hag are always going to be everything in a manager that Mikel Arteta will never be. And that is why, you know, several of us do not want to see that idiot at the club too much longer. But as you say, and that's the biggest fear, Arteta might end up getting a new contract at Christmas, which would be completely outrageous.
Oh no, should outrageous.
He signed a new contract last season.
Oh, no, Manny, you know I love you, but you talk so much sometimes. I've got about 8 questions, but here's an important one. I didn't mean that disrespectfully. Bang. Hold on, what was it even? Oh my God. Manny, I thought about 8 different things. What was the last thing you said there? Oh my God.
I said that I agreed with you that Arteta might get a new contract by Christmas, and that would be a Christmas, and that would be outrageous because he signed a new one only last season.
That's, all right, hold on. Emery basically didn't have the opportunity to sign his own players at Arsenal, yeah?
Yep.
Do you think Arteta is the guy that's making all the signings?
Well, I mean, it either has to be. I mean, he can't not have any input in the transfer market. Otherwise, you just wonder what the hell is that idiot doing over there, other than you know, slicking his hair with gel and trying to look good all the time. I mean, he has to have some input. He can't not just let Edu do his job as half-assedly as he's doing.
Well, they did do it to Emery. That's what I'm saying. We see what happened. Emery had no input.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Emery wanted Zaha, but we got Pepe, and Pepe had a few good moments, but it was clear that maybe he wasn't going to quite fit into either Emery or Arteta's plans.
Thank God, remember, he didn't want the Greek defender. He wanted Maguire.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, I think we dodged the bullet with Maguire, but the Greek guy wasn't that much better.
Yeah? Do you remember we made an 11th hour bid? Even though we knew it was fake. Fabinho. Yeah?
Yeah.
He went to Liverpool. And as a statement, the only guy they let him buy that he actually said was a guy that he liked was Matteo Guendouzi. Hence why he started him from day one and played in 49 games in a row. But for me, you know what I mean? That's almost like being petulant. I'm not going to play Ozil, Guendouzi. I get it. But just don't be a yes man. Maybe we shouldn't have opened that can of worms. My main point there was, do you think these are all Arteta signings? See, remember with him, he fucked with Pepe. He wouldn't play people. Yeah? Hence why probably the sack. So is Arteta forced to play, let's just say, the Timber, Rice or Havertz? Because again, it's either Arteta is stupid, because I said to everyone, before a ball was kicked, before he made his debut, Havertz would play centre mid. I promised everyone that whoever would listen to me or whatever, that it won't work. And how long would it take for him to admit that it ain't right? I'm confused, man. I don't know. Like the Timber thing's a right kick in the bollocks, yeah? You wanted a fullback. He looked really good for 20 minutes against Forest in the debut. Do you know what I mean?
He did, yes.
For me, the jury's still fucking out there, but he looked really great for the minutes that we see him. But he was playing him in the wrong position for a start. My feeling is... He was playing him at left back.
I said agreed.
Yeah, he was playing him at left back, yeah? So again, I reckon he told him, you're going to be left back this season, you know what I mean? And I'm going to have Partey, Ben White, or whatever for right back. Tommy Yasu, I do believe, would have been sold, but then, you know what I mean? Then Timber got injured, and the Gabriel situation. The Gabriel situation is shutting it easy for me. If he doesn't start on Sunday, obviously, I reckon he might be going Saudi. And Partey could be the same. But when the window's closed, that's going to piss me off more. That brings me to another thing. All right, who have I forgot on this list? We've sold Exaka, Mari, Trusty, Turner, Holding. Now, we know we've done the loans,
Tavares and Tierney.
KT makes no sense. You know what I mean? Because we ain't got no other left backs. Like even Tavares, You want this inverted whatever, yeah? He loves to attack. We see that at Marseille. At the end of the Marseille loan, he was playing in a front three. Saka, Martinelli position.
Yeah.
But anyway, how much have we brought in? Who have I forgot? 21, 25, 30, 40, 44. Balogun. Hold on, man. Right. 25, 30, 40, 80, 82. Right, Manny. We've took 82 million in, roughly, yeah?
Yep.
We spent about 205, 210, let's say, yeah? With Raya, yeah?
Yep.
So, right, 80 million. So we spent, what, 130?
Yep.
Right.
130-ish.
Hold on. And haven't we done that the last 2 years in a row? 130, 140, no?
You're frozen.
Who,
I
me?
think so, yeah.
Yo. Manny? Have you froze?
You're frozen,
Can you hear
Danny.
me?
I
I'm
don't know
not
who.
frozen.
I can hear you. I can hear you
Hello?
clearly, but sometimes it happens with. It's the
To be
internet.
honest with
Listen,
you,
just give me a minute. I'll try
hold on,
and-
I'll be honest with you. I remember about it today. For me, you've frozen and your sound's been a bit wavy today. But yeah, because I'm so pissed off with Arsenal and trying to get many points out. Yeah. Jose Felix, mate.
Yeah, I get you.
Two
Don't worry about
strikers
it.
last year. We had no cup runs, yeah? And Europe, there was no Champions League. Surely you need one more striker.
Exactly.
So, mate, obviously, as I said, not always saying I'm right. We were done after the Rice. The only reason why Raya got done was it was a £3 million gift with this option to buy. Do you know what I mean? And because Turner got sold.
Yeah.
Why was Havertz so important now?
Your guess is as good as mine. Again, apparently we've signed another jack of all trades, and here's the kicker: his position might not even be in the midfield. Now, the worst part is that he does score some decent goals, but but with Chelsea last season, he was just laying goose egg after goose egg, and there's a part of me that just thinks that maybe he doesn't seem interested in the game as such. Maybe his mind and his heart not in it. And you'd think that Arteta would be, quick to pounce on something like that. You'd think that Arteta would be willing to. I mean, he did hook him off after less than an hour against Fulham, which was good to see. But there is no way, if he's smart, he can start Havertz against United based on that performance against Fulham. And yet, my big worry is that he might do just that.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, I mean, you're right. Absolutely, we need another striker because neither Jesus or Nketiah are going to score 20 goals individually, although they could score 20 between them. And good save there from Kaminsky, but Luton is still 1-0 down. But
Brennan Johnson, 47.5 confirmed.
Yep. I mean, at least we got good money for Balogun. That was one thing. I mean, they've also got Nicholas.
Again, hold on. It wasn't really that great money. When you think about it, if that had been Chelsea, they would have got absurd money, like 65 and 75s, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's just been confirmed Cancelo's gone to Barcelona along with Felix. So this is going to be really interesting to see how well they do. I mean, Cancelo's been bouncing about from Champions League club to Champions League club at this rate.
He was never for me.
Obviously,
He was never for me, that guy.
No, I completely agree. And, obviously the Gallagher to Spurs deal was never really going to go through. I think Spurs anyway weren't interested. And I'll tell you what, if we had just saved our money on Havertz and gotten Ward-Prowse for less than that with some change left over, we'd be really happy right now. And yet maybe Ward-Prowse isn't the type of player that Arteta wants. I don't know. But he's been really doing the business for West Ham this season.
Again, I wouldn't say Ward-Prowse is my number one target, yeah? But I'll take anything over Havertz, especially if he was going to play the central midfield. Like, all right, Luca's saying everyone must go. We know that ain't going to happen, blah, blah, blah. But as I say, Luca, trust in me. Everything that I've pretty much said through the window. And then when you said we're going to buy Kudos or this ones or Fatties, I was like, mate, we're just selling, we're selling. Do you know what I mean? And as me and Manny have done the maths, Arsenal spend 130, 140 for the last couple of seasons traditionally every summer. We've done the same. We just went out early for once and done the signings. Rice, still a fantastic signing. You know what I mean? Whether some people say English tax. Timber could be a great signing, but out for a year, just our luck. But if you've got 130 mil to spend with the outgoings, why was Havertz important at 65 in centre mid? I'll never get it. I'm going 3-2 to Man United. Edu out now. Well, who is it? Is it Edu? Is it Arteta? Manny? Oh, because I have to mute it. You can carry on talking. I'm going to mute me, Manny, for 1 minute. I need to take this call, yeah?
All right, cheers. And obviously, I'm going to predict a 2-2 draw. I mean, obviously, there's going to be this... Okay. Yeah, just some technical issues from my side. As I said, I predicted a 2-2 draw. And, you know, there is still this thing about our decent record at the Emirates whenever we play Manchester United. I don't quite recall the last time we lost to them at home. I might have to look that up, but obviously we remember that Titanic clash in 2005, which was, of course, Roy Keane's last full season at Manchester United, the Keane-Vieira fight. And the only thing that we might have going for us is that United have defensive problems of their own. I don't know if the Reguilon deal will be ratified in time for him to start at left back. It could very well be Dalot and Wan-Bissaka playing in the fullback positions. And with Rafael Varane out, their defense now is going to be completely patched up. So that's going to be, even if they play a flat back four, we can certainly attack them. But if we start Partey at right back, we're asking for trouble. And it could very well be that even if, I don't even know if Amrabat will get to play, so it could very well be Eriksen and Casemiro, starting. And Eriksen, of course, was the game changer when they played us at this stage last season at Old Trafford. So it's going to be interesting to see. At least United have shown that they can do some business. And as I was about to say to Danny, Ten Hag is the type of person who's humble enough to recognize his own mistakes, see if something's not going right, and change it. That is something that Arteta will never be able to do because he just doesn't have the sense of humility for that. And how this guy has so many admirers, I will never know. I've even got a couple of mates in a WhatsApp group chat of my own who are waxing lyrical about Arteta every single chance that they can get and telling me that I shouldn't be too harsh on him. Shows how much they know. Any more transfer news? Forest also trying to get former Liverpool Champions League winner Divock Origi to join them from AC Milan. And Neil Maupay, who couldn't score for Toffee with the Toffees, is going back to Brentford. He's definitely not going to replace Ivan Toney long term. I wonder if he'll score anything over there. Ex-gunner Alex Iwobi going from Everton back to London with Fulham. He just missed out on a return to the Emirates, but we will reunite with him at Craven Cottage, obviously. Ian Maatsen hasn't agreed personal terms with Burnley because he wants to stay at Chelsea and fight for his place, but maybe the decision will be taken away from him. And oh my goodness, Ibrahim Sangare. I don't know how Forest do it. Ibrahim Sangare, PSV defensive midfielder. We played against him in the Europa League last season. He was actually one of their better players. And now Forest could be getting him on loan too. I don't know what the appeal with Forest is, seriously. I mean, yeah?
Hold on. People now, what? Hold on, let me just see. I said, what have I just missed? I'm back, sorry. What have I just missed? What's happened?
Yeah, you haven't missed very much. All I did was talk about my prediction for Arsenal-Manchester United. I predict a 2-2 draw. And, United's defence, for what it's worth, is going to be heavily patched up, so we should pose a threat, especially with Eddie in the room. I mean, even with Eddie in the room, I would say. But if we leave our defence weakened with Partey at right back, then we're going to get screwed royally. So it's hard to predict. And then I was talking about, how Ten Hag will always be better than Mikel Arteta as a manager because he admits his wrongdoings. And now, of course, Forest are making more and more loan deals. You've heard at this chap Ibrahim Sangare from PSV. We played him. We played the side last year in the Europa League, and he could be heading to Forest too. He could potentially have been a.
Well, that ain't
signed as
alone,
cover
though, is it?
for,
That ain't
Parker.
alone. That ain't alone, is
Huh?
it? That ain't alone. That's like 30 mil.
Hold on a minute. Let me just check that.
Even Hudson-Odoi ain't
Yep.
alone. Hudson, what? It is
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah, but you're right. Sangare isn't alone. I mean, they're trying to sign him for 30 million, Bob.
Exactly. Hold on. Hudson-Odoi, 8 million Chelsea, yeah?
Yeah.
My point is, why can't Arsenal get money for Tavares? Hold on. About sign Spence holding. Again, mate, I'm just fuming. I don't get it. Like 2 left backs. Like Tavares is worth more than nothing. Tierney is worth more than nothing. We could have got our money back. Do you know what I mean? And again, every other club in the world, what do? They'll give the players a year on their contract to protect their value. Yeah? We don't. Tierney, no. Tavares, no. We want them gone. I just don't get the fucking decisions. I've had a night off. That's brilliant. Any news on Ferguson? Well, again, it's a Brighton player, so we'd get mugged off, you know what I mean? But if we were serious about this Ferguson, we've got to go for him now at Brighton before he has a great season and Man United and everyone else would want him. I've been keeping an eye on this guy for a little while because I've been thinking, could this be the next great little hope? He's got a good touch, but then I've seen him live and then he looks really raw to me as well. Have you seen this Ferguson, Manny?
Yeah, Ferguson obviously was earning rave reviews for the way he was performing at Brighton. I think he scored a couple of goals in the run-in for them. And he's also going to be an important player for the Republic of Ireland. Shout out to my mate Del Boy Gunner TV, who will be, I think, doing a watch-along for the Ireland game during the international break.
Nice.
But, yeah, so I think... Yeah, he obviously has a high ceiling, and I think if he's used well by De Zerbi, you know, Arsenal saving their money for Ivan Toney in January, I wouldn't touch that bugger with a 10-foot pole. You and I are in agreement on that, Dan.
Hold on. Sources. Whose sources? I love it when people say sources, bros. Mate, again, this guy doesn't like people with attitudes. If Arteta then backs that up with a guy that gets suspended for betting against his own club, and it weren't the first time. He's betted against Brentford, he's betted against Newcastle, and he's betted against Peterborough while he played for all 3 of them. Yeah?
Yep.
I don't think it's that bad, but again, morally, I just think it's incorrect. Why would bet against every other team to lose? Why your own team?
Exactly.
Anyway, Ivan Toney for me is another Oliver Giroud, and we probably had one in Oliver Giroud that was better. He's the same sort of player. Even though he can take free kicks and penalties, which would help, apart from that, I don't think he fits into our system. So I don't believe so.
Probably,
sources are
probably a bit too muscular for Arteta's taste, one would say.
Not only that, though, again, last January when we had a genuine chance of winning the league, you should have thrown money at him then. For me, we signed 3 bit part players, so we're not going to go out and buy a big striker. Mate, if he didn't see Ivan Toney or any striker more important than Havertz, because he must have known he had about 130 million to spend this summer. You know what I mean?
Yep.
After Rice, why would you make Havertz such a priority? We ain't saving.
Agreed. I mean, we already broke the bank to get Rice to join us, 105 million quid. And you know, I still think that Manchester City put one over on us by saying, you know what, we'll let you fall over yourself to try and get him. We'll get Kovacic and we'll still cook you. And of course, they've got Mateus Nunes from Wolves, who could potentially do a decent job as cover. He's no Kevin De Bruyne, but then nobody is. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne's injury could potentially muck them up, but City are doing their bit to at least make sure that they're getting their backs covered, and that is something, you know.
But that's the core. Jeremy Decore, the winger, you know what I mean? That looks
Doku,
like
yeah,
Doku.
Doku.
You know what I mean? And that Nunes, even though I think he's a prick for going on strike, he's a brilliant midfielder. Hussein, is your man my real one? What are you saying? As I was talking again, that whole girl thing, it's boring.
Hussein, ya habibi, masal khair, good to see you as always.
Yeah.
How are you, brother?
Again, sorry, back what you said about the start. That guy made me sick. He couldn't believe this guy. He wanted to grab a girl all the way from Jordania, you know what I mean? And throttle him, like, you know what I mean? Disgusting slow on someone's name, like. And believe me, that went around, you know what I mean?
Exactly, but let's not talk about that. Yeah, I mean, we're here to talk about transfers.
Of course.
Gravenberch from Bayern Munich to Liverpool. Liverpool have had a lot of issues with their midfield. The way they haven't been able to recruit on time. They lost Henderson, they lost Fabinho, and there was talk about how they couldn't really do the business trying to settle the midfield down. Gravenberch sounds like a pretty good signing, and certainly Van Dijk's influence is a factor in trying to get his fellow Dutchman there. What do you think he'll do for Liverpool?
Again, do you know what? This guy kind of missed me, so I never had too much of an opinion when people were saying Arsenal should sign him. Clearly, you signed for Ajax and then Bayern Munich, you can't be shit. But I actually don't know if he's more of an attacking midfielder. Again, even though they're playing McAllister more disciplined, if you watch Liverpool so far, I've always liked, I hate saying his name, Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai.
I've been watching him closely. Like, say, a Sky Cam for 90 minutes, just watching him, yeah? He's a fucking brilliant player, bros. Don't worry. You're going to see a lot from him this season at Liverpool. And again, you can hook me up if I was wrong, yeah? If Liverpool...
Oh, mate, I know all about Szoboszlai. I mean, England versus Uruguay, they blitzed us at Molineux to the tune of 4-0. Szoboszlai was a key part of all of that.
He was in everyone on my YouTube. At the very start of YouTube, not from the club he went now, before he went to Leipzig, wherever Liverpool just nicked him from, I was like, get him then. Yeah. Let's take the risk when he was very raw and unheard of. Do you know what I mean? I spotted that one like a motherfucker. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I was some Hungarian chefs that did tip me off. Dan, we've got this guy coming through the ranks and he's unreal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this guy, Gravenberch, 21 years old, already capped 11 times by the Dutch national team, scored a goal. He could very well be that type of, guy who might be comfortable both in the attack and in defence. So,
mate, Liverpool set up. Liverpool had a plan, and then they went to the Szoboszlai. They should have just got Jude Bellingham. I don't know why, unless he just didn't want to go there. 88 million.
Too much money, I think. Maybe too much.
88 million. It's almost like saying Arsenal couldn't get him for 88. Well, bro, we done the Rice deal, and 65, 75, 85. You know what I mean? 20-something more million pounds.
Liverpool was the perfect fit for Bellingham, especially with the Klopp Dortmund connection and everything. But and West Ham have just taken doubled their lead. Kurt Zouma from a Ward-Prowse corner, 2-0 to West Ham, and Luton looked dead and buried. And West Ham are still top of the league. I never ever thought I would say that.
West Ham again, not bad after the bad thing. 14th place last season, but yeah, Bowen back in form. I do like that guy. And again, this is when they've lost their captain and Declan Rice.
Yeah, but I think the chant going around might be who needs Declan Rice when we've got, Jared Bowen.
Well, you might get that at Tottenham soon. Who needs Harry Kane?
Well, the way they're playing under Ange Postecoglou, I'm actually quite worried about the North London
derby. Mate, hold on. Again, this was nothing. I've watched Celtic a lot. I'm sure you'll know through Delboy about Celtic. Mate, anyone that didn't notice the way Celtic played last year and the energy, especially from a couple of the Asian guys that come in, Kyrgios and that, mate, it was fucking incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I've got a close friend of mine who's also a Celtic supporter. And he was absolutely angry about Ange leaving, but he told me that it was inevitable that he'd want to move to a Premiership club with the money on offer, and it was always going to be in the cards that he'd end up leaving. He just wishes that Ange had stayed true to his word and stuck around at Celtic rather than deciding at the 11th hour to just make the move to London. But penalty to Luton.
All right, I'll come back to this game in a minute. It goes with Danny Dye's daughter. Interesting. Right, I'm at 2-0. Am I slightly behind you?
Yeah, this is quite harsh, actually, because I think the defender was said to have gotten the ball, and I think the call might be, it's been overruled, no penalty. VAR have told him, no, he's got the ball, reverse your decision.
Absolutely beautiful. Right, now we can get back into a bit of this window. I'm a little bit gutted, Manny. I honestly can't lie, mate.
I'm disgusted. I really am. And there is no way that I can rate our transfer window anywhere higher than a 3 out of 10.
Like, I could make some harsh predictions right now and say we're not getting top 4. Like, I don't want to compare us to West Ham. West Ham had a disaster of a season last year, yeah? But like Phil, whoever he is on this stream, Phil Mitchell and West Ham fans, the average, think they're the best team in London because they've won a trophy. So anyway, all respect to them, but Arsenal have Champions League commitments this year as well. Like, if we had got a hard group like Newcastle and just got battered and finished 4th, we might have salvaged this season. If we actually get out of this group, because for me, this is a very fucking doable group that we can get out of, I don't know, this is going to hinder us, mate.
It could, and obviously with PSV letting quite a few of their players go, they could be at least weaker in theory. Seeing the way they dismantled Rangers, though, you are afraid of the likes of, Saibari and De Jong and company possibly, running roughshod over our wafer thin defence. And bear in mind, when we played them in the Europa League last year, we lost on their home ground. And Sevilla, no mugs, defending Europa League champions, although losing Yacine Buno and Gonzalo Montiel to money-spinning deals elsewhere will not help them one bit. So, we should qualify from the group, even if not as group winners, at least as runners-up. If we don't qualify from that group, if we end up going into the Europa League, then that's going to be even worse because, as you said, our season might not be salvaged, and we end up in the same crappy place where we didn't want to be in the first place.
Yeah, but my feeling is, anyway, let's go for the early prediction is we look good. We actually somehow finish top of this group. We're within a stone's throw of top 4 or sitting 4th come in January, or into February, whatever it is. And, we get a good team straight away in the last 16 and we get bad. There you go.
Uh-huh. I mean,
PSV, I don't care what they've done against Rangers. Rangers, man, Rangers are Rangers with all respect. Do you know what I mean? Seville, yes, very good team. You know what I mean? But yeah, not worried of them, really and truly. And as for Lons, again, but in saying this, they'll all give us a run for their money because this is Arteta's Arsenal.
And that's the thing. If he dares try that ridiculous inverted crap with Partey at right back against those teams, we're going to get creamed. I can guarantee you that. Sevilla will definitely fancy their chances, as will PSV. And I can't tell you too much about Lens. I don't think they'll give us much of a challenge. But if you're good enough to qualify for the group stage of the Champions League,
exactly. No, there's a couple of players. They might have lost it. They have Thuram, and they might have lost him. But yeah, they've definitely made a couple of signings lost. I can't remember at the top of my head, but yeah, they've probably lost one or two.
It could be worse. We could be in Newcastle's group.
But again, Newcastle, I bet we fucking fight it, and you know what I mean? Have a go.
Oh, they're going to have a go. They're just not going to qualify. PSG, Atletico Madrid, no, AC Milan and Borussia Dortmund. Go figure.
Okay. Man. My phone is, hold on, makes no sense. Quite a quiet stream today. But I don't know. Manny, give me some inspiration. I don't know. The only inspiration I want is just, again, even though it's pretty much just like last season, apart from Declan Rice, it's just things to go back to what we was doing last season, whether we love Arteta or not, you know what I mean? And I suppose Ben White, right back, Again, Partey, he's obviously doing it to make sure Havertz gets a place in the team, I don't know. He's got to admit defeat straight away, Manny, or the season's fucked. Seriously.
Yeah.
Left back, honestly, don't want to be pessimistic. I can see Zinni getting a month or 2 injury in the next 3-4 weeks.
Right.
Then it's going to be Tomiyasu, players out of position.
It's all the more stupid what you can do. And Mohamed Kudus has now come on to make his debut for West Ham in the last 4 minutes of the game. Another player who we were looking for, who could have signed for us, but moved to West Ham.
But again, when Luca come in, with all respect to him and his sources, and said, yeah, Kudus is on his way to Arsenal, yeah, I absolutely laughed it off. You'd have thought I worked for the club, mate. I'd made my decision, and we were done after Rice. Because there was a lot of good players going around that I thought we could have got that, we could have got this. You know what I mean? But
yeah, Luton have just pulled one back, by the way. Their first goal from the outfield in the Premier League, and we'll find out who the scorer is. But
I'm behind, so I'll find out in a second.
yeah, but listen, I'll tell you something now. A lot of these players who have gone to different clubs would infinitely improve our team. And
Well,
yet,
of course.
I get the feeling that maybe they read the news and they see a lot of the goings on and come to the conclusion that it isn't worth coming to Arsenal if it means trying to interact or hobnob with Edu and Arteta. Maybe they're more well informed and smarter than we've given credit for.
All right. Again, we've all spoke about Maddison before. You spoke about him playing for England, I'm pretty sure, on my stream, yeah?
Yep.
At the start of the season, I would have said at the window, we don't need him, yeah? Because he's a number 10, just like Havertz. But if you'd have gave me the choice, Manny, and supposedly there is English tax involved when you buy an English player, yeah?
Yep.
Hence why I'm so angry tonight. Even that bugs me. 40 million Maddison, roughly the same age, Premier League proven, English, yeah? Or 65 Havertz.
Exactly. People like me, Danny, were crying out for Maddison since the end of last season. And Linda, I know my connection hasn't been the best; it's been fluctuating, but at least things are a little bit better. Sorry about that. But I was crying out for him over Tielemans, because Tielemans is a bit of a lazy git. Tielemans is now, of course, with Aston Villa. Maybe Emery can get a tune out of him. Who knows? But Maddison would definitely have improved our team by leaps and bounds. And whenever we played against him, he actually was one of their better players.
One moment. Maddison, if he'd have come to Arsenal and played centre mid, I don't think he'd be that great. Probably better than Havertz. What I'm saying is he made the decision to buy Havertz as a central midfielder. Oh, yeah, I don't want to confuse it. But again, just anyway, Havertz or him, it's simple for me. Plus, it's another English player on the English quota if you're going to lose people like Holding. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which made me just go back to the question I asked you. Is it actually Arteta's signings? Surely it is. Because which other cunt would want to go and get Havertz from Chelsea?
The same jackass who brought Aaron Ramsdale in despite his 2 relegations, I would say. I mean, Ramsdale has had his moments, but he's also had his howlers.
Most definitely.
He's nowhere near the solid, consistent goalkeeper that Arsenal need, no matter what people might say. But you might have a point there. You might have a point.
Who knows?
And it just goes to show that Arteta's ideas are completely arsed backwards. The man's clearly, pig ignorant when it comes to tactics and player signings. I really don't know what goes through his head at times.
Does he listen to Pep? Like, does Pep tell him what to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, what do you think? He phones Pep, and Pep says, "Yeah, mate, sell all your left backs and keep Zenny." Like, I don't get it. Like,
that is ridiculous. If that is true, then maybe it's a sort of a plot from. It could be a possible plot from Guardiola to destroy Arsenal, maybe.
But again,
sinister.
Guardiola's better than that. Guardiola knew last season, you know what I mean, what would happen, just like I would. Arsenal would run out of steam somewhere, you know what I mean? You can't have that same 11 go through the whole season and then no proper backups. January was a chance to try and get us Saido and Mudrak, you know what I mean?
Yep. And it was just that, lack of, diligence and proactivity that really angered me more than anything else.
But everything was kind of, again, not to annoy you on the fact, I'm just saying, mate, due diligence, whatever. As Arteta and Edu will always tell you, we plan our signings from a year before and everything, yeah? Mate, we knew what we were doing. We never act fast. We flew out of the blocks. Rice always knew was going to happen. Timber was a surprise, not the position. I knew would get a right back. I feared it would be Cancelo. But Havertz has thrown me. But it's thrown me even more because we couldn't even get Raya on a deal. Hence why we had to do that deal, blah, blah, blah. Because remember, Raya was the keeper that Arteta wanted before Ramsdale. And he wanted it. But again, it couldn't get done because of money. Yeah? He sold Turner. Still wasn't granted the money to buy him outright. And had to do it on a loan. It pissed off Brentford so bad. Go look at what even their chairman said on their press conference. Don't expect him back. Bit pissed off with the deal. Do you know what I mean? But he's gone Arsenal, and hopefully we get our money next season.
Right, full time at Kenilworth Road, West Ham 2, Luton Town 1. And Luton should probably have had a penalty deep into stoppage time with a potential handball by Ward Prowse, but it wasn't picked up by VAR. And Luton should still go down, but they're showing a lot of fight. And it was Anderson who got the goal in the 2nd minute of stoppage time. So, decent game. I'm only sorry I couldn't see... I saw all 3 goals, so that's enough for me.
There you go. And as you're saying, even though we knew it was done, Gravenbach is in the building. Cancelo has been confirmed. And even Cancelo, you could have got him on a loan, even though I never wanted him. But with their Timber injury, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't want Cancelo either.
No, I don't want him at all. But then even Southampton, yeah? As you see, a little fire cell. Walker Peters, again, hard to say I want him on a permanent, you know what I mean? But at 15 mil, bro, it wasn't the biggest risk. He can play left back, right back. I don't know. I think we've left ourselves a bit exposed in defence.
You think? I know we've left ourselves exposed in defence.
One more Tomiyasu injury, Mobs, and we're in trouble.
Oh, yeah. And God forbid Benny Blanco should fall down with an injury.
But yeah, we're one injury away from, a madness. Not a great performance tonight. But 3 points is 3 points. The cat beater saved us. Zuma must have scored. Fair enough. And well done to West Ham. I don't begrudge West Ham.
It was Zuma who scored. And I think what really will make Mitchell angry is that Zuma is now wearing the captain's armband.
Okay.
I thought it would have gone to someone else, to be honest, but also catching up on some tennis from the US Open. Maybe tennis isn't your sport, but I do enjoy watching it.
Fair enough. What's going on? All I did hear is, you know what, Sky, they'll repeat quickly that Murray is out. Murray is out. I was like, okay already, for fuck's sake.
Yep, lost to Dimitrov in 3 sets. And I think he's coming to the end of his career. He'll still have some really good performances, but I think his best and most brilliant days are long gone. But he'll always be our greatest ever, no doubt about it.
My God. And Arsenal, the Brentford geezer. He said if it was even before Sky Sports broke it, he said it's a loan that turns into an obligation if he meets a certain amount of game time. Yeah?
Yep.
But if my feeling is correct, or Ramsdale keeps making mistakes, like the other day I do blame him as well, and Saka and Partey. But I have a feeling this dickhead is going to have a league goalkeeper and a cup goalkeeper. Just like Pep, you know what I mean?
I mean, obviously Pep doesn't play Ortega in the Champions League games.
But again, he ain't stupid enough for that. I think if Ortega had been even a little bit better, it's the type of thing Pep would do to try and keep a nice, friendly atmosphere. But again, you corrected me because it's absolutely correct. Pep wouldn't do something so dumb. You know what I mean? And when he does throw John Stones at right back or centre back in defensive midfield, he does it better than Arteta. You know what I mean? He knows who to put in them positions. A hard-working player or whatever.
Yep.
I don't get it, Manny.
Neither do I, Danny.
Havertz, I kept on saying I would have tried as a 9. I don't think it will happen. Nketiah's in the England team. But anyway, bollocks to that. We've got like an hour left of the window, guys. How much did the Cole Palmer surprise you?
Very. I mean, I was wondering, a guy who scored in the Community Shield and also in the Super Cup, why Pep would want to get rid of a youngster like him, I have no idea. I mean, I was seeing him getting more and more opportunities to play for City this season and really, start to come into his own. So for him to go to Chelsea, I mean, what a shock.
I only hope one thing, Manny.
Yeah.
Both of these teams have took the piss out of financial fair play, yeah?
Uh-huh.
And again, when you sell someone like Cole, whatever, it kind of takes into account, like, not literally, but if you sign Partey at 45 and sell him for 10 mil, it's a 35 loss, isn't it? When you sell a guy from the academy for 42.5 mil, that's straight 42.5 mil profit. It's brilliant for the accountant at the end of the season. Hence why they've got rid of the Tom Doyle and a lot of their other academy people. Same as Chelsea, the Hudson-Odois, Loftus-Cheeks, whatever.
Yep.
Trying to appease financial fair play.
Just goes to show that there are consequences to spending money wantonly.
Well, not really. They've spent $1 billion in a couple of months. You know what I mean? So, for me, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, Arsenal can't use that as an excuse where we're keeping up to financial fair plays or whatever. You know what I mean? No way. Be better businessmen. The Tierney's, etc. Poxy. Mate. I wish we had a surprise up our fucking sleeves.
You and me both. You and me both.
Fuck me, I hear noises in my kitchen. What's things falling, Manny?
Looks as though somebody's trying to rustle up a late night snack.
But who? I'm the only motherfucker in the house. What possibly dropped? Oh, Manny.
Yep.
I have no idea what dropped, but there was no stream last night, Manny, yeah? I got a bit of chefing work. Bro, I was thrown in at the deep end in an Egyptian... I don't want to call it a restaurant because I could send you pictures, you'd be shocked. I had a microwave and a home barbecue to cook on for a birthday party. And lamb chops, chicken, all in like, you know what I mean? The mint and cumins and paprikas, an Egyptian style sort of menu, you know what I mean? But I couldn't believe it. I thought I'd have a kitchen. I had a room. Right, Jean RB is here. Right, let's see what he's saying. The alarm bells were ringing when we signed Havertz. Our transfer window has been awfully disappointing. Most definitely for me. Again, you kind of... Oh, I don't know. Liverpool, I thought it was breaking news. I thought they'd done something else. But yeah, the Havertz one confuses me, especially with other positions. He's never, ever a central midfielder. But we've over-exhausted. I don't know what to say. We need a striker. There's a loan market. I don't know. Even that dude that went to Inter Milan on a free, who was very good in France. I don't know. Was it the striker? Could have got him. I don't know. Manny, what do you think? Joe Felix was never going to play a game for Atletico Madrid again. Could have got him on loan.
Interesting.
And everyone in the world was offered Fatty. I don't think it was a mad loan fee. Obviously, you have to pick up all his wages. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. Shouts out to all the real ones. Do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. What's people on Twitter saying? Oh, that's you, Manny. Brilliant. What was that? Hold on. What was Manny just sent me? Ah, him. Let me have a look at the boat race.
Yeah, that was the guy who was making those ridiculous statements about the experimentation. I've quote tweeted him a couple of times. In fact, those are some of my most recent tweets. You know, I have this knack, Danny, of being able to, you know, really see through a lot of the crap that some of these more reasoned people try to say in an attempt to defend their manager. And so when you try and hit them with some questions, they can't answer them.
Of course.
But
of course, hence why not, you know what I mean, people wouldn't be, love me either, do you know what I mean, Manny? Yeah, straight to the point, and yeah, it's a bullshit sort of thing. As I said, a lot of the main network is sort of locked off. They all know each other, whether it's Terry, who's meant to be a Man United channel, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I done nothing to Terry, as I said, like, you know what I mean? And then he said, I can't stream with you again, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of people. There was that Neeks on that show. It was called Rating Arsenal Season. I'm surprised it wasn't taken down. It's still there. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I done an hour show, very fresh. I was 3 weeks into my YouTube career. I was still using my telephone. Didn't even have a laptop. And the way he introduced me, in fact, I'll send it to you. He introduced me like a fucking hero. I love the introduction. But anyway, we should have tried. Hold on, what? We should have tried Chelsea alone with an option to buy Havertz. No, Chelsea ain't that stupid, bros. They need the players out. Do you know what I mean? And they needed cash on the hip for it because they wanted to sign people like Caicedo. You know what I mean? Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, none of these guys come cheap, man. The ruthless world of football.
Mhm.
Well, and yeah, why would Chelsea do us alone? Come on. No one don't want to do no one favours out here. You have to blame Arsenal. This was obviously something we wanted to do. But it appeared, because it was Darmish and everyone said we wanted Mason Mount. Why did we pull out for Mason Mount? Is it because Man United got involved? We don't go for people that other people want. And I've always said this. Or we pull out. As I said with Declan Rice, we were very fortunate. Even though I was proved kind of wrong with Kane, I'm so surprised. After putting up of 10 years of shit, managers changing every year, Espirito Santos, probably Christian Gross or some shit, I don't know. They've had all sorts at Tottenham. They tried to go good. Conte, still no tune. You know what I mean? They tried Mourinho, still no tune. Kane should have went years ago. But the position he was in, I would have waited the last year. But anyway, my point being, yeah, Rice was such a London boy. He was never going to leave London, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And secretly, as I always said, he feels he had unfinished business at Chelsea. We're not going to sign anyone, I promise you. It's done. It is done.
It is
Rail
done.
Rail was a bonus. And that was only because Arteta's had a fetish for it. We would have spot there too. When we heard we were offering, yeah. Well, exactly. Or we could have done it the Chelsea way, pay over 8 or 9 seasons, but they wouldn't have allowed that.
Mhm.
Either as another person, I went on to do nothing. Scored against France in the Euro final. The bloke now retired. Yeah, man. I've never really bought people like for the lack of through tournaments. I remember, I don't know, was it Karol Poborski or like this one? He played in the Premier League. He played for Chelsea. Like if we didn't have Odegaard, I'd say a 10. I'm bored of talking about it. I've already exhausted it so bad. Like for me, perhaps a 10, perhaps a 9. But anyway. Right, what is going on? Ryan Gravenberch, not bad. Man United, they've filled a couple of holes. I don't think their fans would be overly happy. Andy Carroll, he's gone. Where the fuck is he gone? Kasper Schmeichel released by Nice, so he'll be going somewhere in the next couple of hours, but he doesn't have to, as it's he's been released.
Well, I mean, he might want to join a club very soon because there's no way he's going to want to stay inactive with Denmark very much in the thick of Euro qualification, you see.
In response to Linda, we have sold Pablo Mari, we have sold Austin Trusty, we have sold Matt Turner, we have sold Balogun, we have sold Exaka, and we have sold Rob Holding. So we've raised about 80 million quid. We loaned out Tavares and Kieran Tierney, who we could have got decent money for. But now we're letting their contracts run down a year. Makes no sense. Have we loaned anyone else out? Have I missed anyone, Manny?
Um,
I know Patino went on loan, but again, he had a year left on his deal, so I'm sure that's just he's gone and then he'll leave.
Can't think of too many more, to be honest. Oh yeah, Runeson's gone to Cardiff City. That's old news.
Okay, but again, no fee. It's no, yeah. It was a yeah. Fuck that. I'm confused at Katie. The Balogun one smashes the arse off me. Wait. And we would have sacrificed another one. Obviously, Party Gabriel. Brighton. They've had a decent window. Could Fatty be one of the signings of the year?
I'll tell you something. For a guy called Fatty, he looks very fit.
Yes, most definitely. And again, I don't care if it's been a bit tricky in Barcelona for him. He played 38 or 36 times or 36 league games for Barca last year. You have to be a half decent player. They win the league. They won the league. He made his debut when he was 16 or just turning 16. You have to be good. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was just listening to the report. Sorry. I'm surprised. Why wouldn't Arsenal have done it? Maybe because it was a straight loan. But yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm pissed off, bro. 11:10. Obviously, we knew we were done. The finances, we spend the same sort of amount every year. Boy. And I suppose Ray approved that because we couldn't actually sign him. And he has to play a certain amount of games. So it's pretty simple. If it's 20 games, you know what I mean? You got to play him 20 times. Exactly, bros. Exactly, because I wouldn't judge his 6 months at Chelsea because Chelsea are fucking awful. Again, me and Manny have spoke about that, the Mudraks, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be quite a fucking special footballer to stand out at Chelsea. So I kind of rate Enzo Fernandez so far because he looks all right. I'm sure Saseda will succeed, but again, you'll have to fucking work hard. And Felix, again, mate, they were desperate to get rid of him. He's been offered to every team in the world all summer. That would have been another player you could have gotten a reasonable deal. Rafinha, Fatty. Barcelona would have listened to sensible offers. Frankie de Jong, another guy. Can't believe it. Where are you off to, Lida? How dare you? Why would you want to be off? Do you think there's anything else going to happen in the last little while, Manny? Or anything significant? Or do you think that's it now? All the big deals are done.
Well, I mean, let me just check, good old BBC, because they're going to have something possibly going on. What time is it closing, by the way?
11. But you know how it goes. They can get an extra hour. Obviously, you can, apply to the FA to get an extra hour if necessary.
Already, we've had a few Arsenal fans complaining about a lack of depth. Somebody saying, yep, Gravenberch has been confirmed, 34.3 million.
Yep. And again, 35 mil. It isn't that much, with all respect. This in this day and age, Manny. Yeah. That's a Fabio Vieira, of all respect.
Uh-huh.
Let me get the stream out there, Manny, one more time. We've had a bit of a quiet one, but it's transfer deadline day. What's your weekend like, Manny? How's your weekend fixed?
Yeah, weekend probably don't have too very much going on. I mean, tomorrow, of course, probably a normal day. I'm going to look to try and go out to, my local German institute to catch some German language films. There's a film festival going on.
As you do.
Shout out to the Goethe Institute. And next weekend, of course, I'll be starting A2 German. I already took the A1 certification and passed it. And I didn't need to pass it. All I have to do is complete the course, but already passed it. So full speed ahead.
Very, very impressive.
Hopefully, my German will be up to a decent level, at least at a sort of a beginner/intermediate level. And then, of course, the weekend timings means that it'll be touch and go whether I'll get to watch a few Arsenal games. I might miss one or two in between, but that's not really the worst thing. And once again, we've got a complaint about Forest making their signings. You bring in as many players as you have inside. There are going to be so many players sitting on the bench or in the stand that you've got to try and man manage. How Steve Cooper can manage a match day with 25 players or more preparing on a Friday for a game on a Saturday, and you pick 11 players and the substitutes, and then another 10 players not to even bother traveling. You're not in the squad. Those 10 players doing nothing on the weekend will be fuming, especially if you've come from overseas.
Yuri, hold on.
once
What do you
again,
mean you're off? Hold on, Yuri. What do you mean you're off? Hold on. Forget what you mean by that. Rate this window, Yuri. I told you we wouldn't sign after fucking Rice. Raya was only because it was a loan. Yeah, we couldn't even get that together, and because Arteta has a fascination. Bro, I said this was going to happen, man. I'm not happy. Yuri, talk to me. Guys, do be getting the likes in the video. Sorry to have cut you like that, Manny. But I want people's opinions on this. Jose Felix, again, decent shout. We've got 2 strikers at the club. 1 injury, again, we're not mathematically fucking stupid. Means you've got 1 striker. Man. I'm surprised that Minari, or whatever his name is, hasn't gone to PSG yet. But apparently PSG have held strong. They said they weren't going to spend the money. But he's gone to France. He's tried a dumbness, you know what I mean? He's a decent player. There's players out there, Manny.
Yeah, Carlo Muani is quality. I mean, you've heard me wax lyrical about the guy. I mean, why no Premiership club has gone in for him, I will never know. But, it is what it is. I think Chelsea obviously will be ruining their luck with the injury to Nkunku because they're now going to wonder where the goals will be coming from. So, do they wait for Nkunku to recover from his injury?
The old Chelsea, even under Bowley or whoever the owner is, would just panic and buy. I think Pochettino said, you know what, I've got Broja. I might even try Sterling up there. Do you know what I mean? I'll give Jackson a chance. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of like that sometimes from a manager. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, that's why Chelsea have done a good thing getting Pochettino, because he's got the experience, he's got the gravitas. He will know when to say things and what to say and make sure it's done. And why am I hearing an echo?
Mate, it's been happening the whole time. I think. Do you know what? I thought it was personally when you're breathing on your mic. I don't know. See, like right now, no echo. When you talk, echo. Is your mic too close? I'd personally put it down a piece. Try now.
How about now? Can you hear it?
Perfect, Steve. Exactly. And still a slight interference. So I think it almost sounds like wind. So yeah, I'll just have it a touch further away.
Oh yeah, there's a fan running. There's a fan running beside me. It gets hot.
Okay, that's what it probably is. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, that's what I was saying about Pochettino. He speaks with the authority and the experience of having done the job he did with Tottenham, and he's made it very clear that this is the way it has to be. And I think Bowley likes managers who won't necessarily talk back to him, but will also be very straight and direct and respectful. And if you are willing to do that, then that's fine. But why he saw it fit to sack Thomas Tuchel, I will never know. And Tuchel, of course, was very lucky to have won the Bundesliga last season. So lucky, he knows how lucky he is because he hasn't let Musiala go anywhere.
Yeah.
If Musiala hadn't scored that goal, Tuchel would definitely have been sacked, maybe.
Musiala, again, I wonder how amazing this guy is. This will be an interesting year for him because we all know that he looks good or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But would a Premier League team come in for him? But then again, maybe he loves life out there. He's English, but he does actually play for the German national team. So maybe Bayern Munich does suit him. I'm wondering if a Man City or Liverpool, why haven't no one gone calling for him? What do you think?
Think about Musiala. Yeah. Look, there are going to be some teams. There are going to be some teams that will, have.
Manny, do me a favor. I'm so sorry. If it's the fan, I'm sorry. Sack the fan. I'm so sorry. Sack that fan, Manny. Let's just see if it is the fan. Could you sack that fan by any chance? It is crazy. No, just the fan. It's crazy, the noise. Or alternatively, just perhaps your mic is broken, but we'll see. Talk to me.
The microphone is not broken.
Nope,
it is the fan. It has.
There you go. And now you're perfect.
It has caused a few issues in the past. So if I don't have the fan on, I've got to turn on the air conditioning. It gets
But
really
that just shows you,
hot
though.
over here.
Can you see how sensitive that mic is? That's why I thought it was just your mouth from breathing. That's how sensitive it is. It picks up the fan
Yeah, I mean,
unbelievably.
it's good.
It's unreal.
It's good in some ways. It's bad in some others. But say la vie. You can't complain much about it. And
Liekers, good evening, bro. Long time no see. Before you jump in and jump out, because you really seem to have jumped in and jump out, rate the window, mate. I know you're like-minded thinking to me. Manny's agreed. Party right back. We've said it again. Havertz centre back. My feeling is he might go back to the as you was in defence, right? Gabriel may be installed unless he's going Saudi, but Havertz will still be central midfield for me come Sunday against Man United. And mate, it's going to bring trouble. Even Man United, they tried the same idea as I was discussing with Manny, and now they're getting Sofra and Amrabat in because they want to sack it because Casemiro can't hold by himself. You have to be Superman to be a holding midfielder in the Premier League by yourself. It's a 4 out of 10. I gave it a 5 just because I was kind of happy that Ramsdale's got a bit of competition. Do you know what I mean? But again, that's typical of Arteta. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't injured. It ain't broken. Don't fix it. I'm a bit deflated. What's your feelings? What's your thoughts? And again, statistically, sorry to plug you there, Lee, I was just working out with Manny. If you work out the signings and to the players that have been sold, it's about exactly 130 million we've spent. And people want to go on about 200 mil and blah, blah, blah. I see it all coming. I knew it was just sales from now. I just wanted to believe it would be different because we moved so early in the window.
Yeah. Actually, there is actually a fan who commented on the Salah thing. They basically saying Liverpool should agree to a contract to sell Salah in January for the 200 million quid. Liverpool can have time to assess options. The player gets the option to go, and the Saudi league team get their man. So you make the deal now.
Liverpool, listen, Klopp ain't stupid like Arteta. When Klopp got the Coutinho money, he knew he needed a defender because their defense wasn't the greatest. So he went and got one of the world's best available, Van Dijk. And he got a very, very reliable goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? And as you see of Ramsdale, you know what I mean? 25 mil gets you a certain standard of goalkeeper.
Oh, you bet. We spent 5 million more and got Ramsdale. Alisson is quality. Easily one of the 2 best goalkeepers in the Premier League. You know who I think the other one is.
Of course. But we let him go to keep that German guy. Which, I just can't believe most Arsenal fans, but not the ones on this channel.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It could have been resurrected. We could have got a loan. Joe Felix. We could have done things. Mate, if Arteta, and this is why, guys, I know Lee Akers, you think, I just start on Arteta for no reason. Yeah? If Arteta wasn't such a prick, wait till deadline day. You would have got money for Tavares. You would have got money for Tierney. They're decent left backs. If Cini gets injured, we ain't even got a fucking left back. We're putting right backs at left back or centre backs at left back. It's bullshit. This ain't for the best of Arsenal Football Club. You can't tell me, I'm not saying KT, and I know you ain't a big KT fan, but you can't tell me he's so shit, he ain't good enough to be a backup at Arsenal. And Tavares, you will say there's a player in there. So why ain't he good enough to be a backup? And the biggest kick in the dick is, the biggest kick in the dick for me, guys, is, and please give me a minute, is that we got no money for them. Nottingham Forest have spent 8 million on Hudson-Odoi. They're buying players left, right, and centre for the last 24, 48 hours. But no money to Arsenal for Tavares. So tell them to fuck off and go and buy Brazilian defenders and whatever they've been buying all after fucking noon. And KT, why couldn't we get our 25 mil back? Newcastle would have done it. I'm pissed off. Exactly. And the defence wasn't that fucked up. I get it bringing in Timber. You want to improve. But the party bit, why? And then punishing party by putting him at right back and making Havertz play in his position. This is Arteta and Arsenal all over. Agreed. Dead window, UE. Dead is the right word. Dead is the right word. All dead, fellows. Right, Arteta was happy with the window as soon as we signed Havertz. I'll never get it, mate. I'm even wondering if he makes the signings now. Seriously. like Emery. I wanted Zaha. They're going to his job. I don't think so. I reckon you'll get a new deal soon. I reckon you'll get a new deal. They would have got 40 million. They would have got more, mate. They would have got more than 40 mil, bruv. So you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Balogun would have been getting 80 mil if that was a Chelsea player. I think we've been shortchanged on Balogun. I don't think so. He deserves to, yeah, fucking be sacked, fired, kicked, and yeah, spat on for this kind of decision. But for me, he is the manager, and he could make it all stop against Man United and just put fucking Ben White back at right back, put Gabriel in the team. But he obviously wanted to sell Gabriel. I believe he did want Eric Garcia from Club Barcelona. So am I. But I said this, mate. I knew we were done after a few days, 5-6 days after the Havertz signing. I said, guys, that is it. Jean Arby will back me up. I know you will as well. I said, that's it. That is it. Do you know what I mean? I'm surprised we've moved quickly. But now I'm still unhappy. I'm baffed. We knew Rice was going to cost a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's been here. How long is this going to go on for? Don't know, mate. Mate, probably for many more years. He could be a Wenger merchant, 22 years.
I'm sure he won't. I'm sure the board and the fans will collectively come to the realization that the Emperor has no clothes and say, get out of here and put some clothes on and don't you ever come back. We can't go for too long without getting some success, you know.
Well, I don't know. Again, I don't get the mad negative comments on Twitter as I used to a little while ago. But maybe that's because I've been a good boy and I get banned for life and everything. But someone pulled me up on something the other day. I just said something like Havertz out or something, or blah, blah, blah. I could probably find it. It was something so major. And it's incredible how many people will jump to this guy's defense. And immediately, absolutely immediately. I put a poll up. Would you swap Emil Smith Rowe for Mudryk? Everyone was like, how could you say such a thing? Saying it weren't down to Smith Rowe's ability, blah, blah, blah. Right, yeah. Fuck them. Right, guys, did we get the likes on the video? We just needed to add to the squad. Instead, he's bought a Chelsea flop, another fullback who's out for the season, and moved one of our better midfielders to right back. Exactly. And again, Ten Hag made the same mistake. He went Mount, Fernandes with just Casemiro trying to hold the midfield. He's already realised that don't work. This is the Premier League. Certainly was. And again, Rice. People are even said to me, oh, Rice hasn't been any good. Or even Juma, he's like, oh, Rice is no good, £100 million waste man. I was like, Rice is a guy that's going to come to fruition when you see Arsenal under pressure. Rice doesn't offer a lot. But when Arsenal are under the cosh, that's when you see. Yeah, that was world class. We're lucky that both of them generally love Arsenal, I suppose. Glad that they renewed. Yeah. Danny, do it. We are dead in the water if we keep, my phone's going nuts, keep on making poor decisions in the transfer window. Right, again, this was an ever window. The 200 mil, people are thinking we're going to carry on spending. I don't get it. Maybe the people were supposed to sell, it didn't happen. I don't know. Ah, shit. Well, again, Saliba's made himself pretty clear, innit? He said it, you know what I mean? As he did. I see my future at the club for the next 4 years. I have no intention of leaving, but I won't sign until I get the money I want. What's the score with Gabriel? Do you think he'll be back in the team on Sunday? Or is he now the new Guendouzi and he's been naughty?
You know,
again,
the ironic thing about Gabriel is that there was a time when I actually, was berating him for being a little bit too mouthy. And do you remember when he put out that tweet when we played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and beat them there? And he tweeted, "Nothing personal. Arsenal is red." And not too long after that, he was dropped from the Brazilian World Cup squad. I remember trolling him by saying, when an ill-judged tweet costs you your chance of playing in the World Cup for your country, better to stay silent. And he deserved that criticism because at the time he fancied himself as being a mouthpiece of Arteta, talking on behalf of the manager and his decisions to get rid of Aubameyang and other decisions. And he wasn't really concentrating too much on his game. Credit to him, after coming back from, he recovered from that to become a much better defender for us. And yet I really am at a loss to words as to what could have happened to see him frozen out. And with Arteta saying Gabriel knows why he's not playing, I think that statement itself tells you that there's something
really? When did he say that?
I don't quite remember, but it was I don't even it might have been during some press conference. I'm not too sure, but
fair enough. That one missed. I'm telling you what, yeah, I've been saying. I don't know why, and blah blah blah. The left-footed centre-back thing.
Okay, done deal at 11:30 p.m. UK time. Manchester United agree a deal to sign Sofian Amrabat on loan from Fiorentina. That is done and dusted. And Forest have made another signing. Greece goalkeeper Odysseus Vlachodimos from Benfica for an undisclosed fee. So this is not a deal. This is a transfer.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't never loan. Why is it Arsenal and loan Tavares? It's because he wanted him out of the club. What's going to happen to poor Pepe now if he doesn't leave in the next hour? Are we just going to rip up his contract? Phil warned us about nothing. Declan Rice is a great player. The thing is, he doesn't offer much. He doesn't score. He doesn't assist, but he's a great midfielder. Surfeit Rose, what's happening? That's not done. Arteta is trying to be Pep. Most definitely.
Luton Town have just signed Albert Sambi-Lokonga on loan from the Arsenal.
Oh, another loan. How interesting. Another loan.
But this is for Luton.
No, but it's another loan.
Yeah.
When everyone said we could get this for him,
yes.
or we could get 30 million from Wolves from Forest for Tavares. No, mate. We can't do nothing.
Okay. Another interesting piece of news. Manchester United are in talks with La Liga out at Getafe over a loan deal for Mason Greenwood. Officials from both clubs are trying to complete a move before the deadline that would at least allow Greenwood to resume his career. United have resolved that the England international needs to rebuild his career away from Old Trafford in the wake of serious charges that were levelled against him and subsequently dropped. So obviously he's no longer a Manchester United player, and United are going to try and send him somewhere. Leaving England would do him a world of good.
All right. Does Pep play Rodri at right back? But no, Pep is still, he could play Stones at left back, right back, centre midfield, and still make it look better than anything Arteta can do. Arteta is just a clown that's tried to copy him in. What do you mean when it's both of them? What are we talking about? What did I miss? That's not Danny. I have no idea. Someone briefed me on what I missed there. Shouts out to itself here. I want Arteta and Edu out of the club. So would I, bruvs. So would I. What is this? Now we've got rainbows. Okay, lovely. The start of the season has been awful. Exactly. But that's what happens when you put a class midfielder at right back to accommodate a guy that ain't a midfielder. Exactly. He could try and right the wrong now, admitting and putting Havertz on the bench. I doubt he will. He's not an Iniesta, 50 million at most. And again, that ain't the most English tax. That isn't my biggest beef. I knew Rice would have to pay through the roof for him. Do you know what I mean? Respect to the chat. Shouts out to all the real ones. Okay, Phil, brilliant. 72. All right, calm down. Does feel. Oh my god. All right, boys. Right, guys, do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we are new. Amrabat, not the most thrilling signing, but again, he'll sit alongside Casemiro. Nice, and I'm glad. I hope he can't play against us. Luton signed Lokonga. Right, Lokonga, no money. No money. Where do we finish? Seriously, bros? It depends. If we was to qualify or finish first and second in this Champions League group, because of respect, there's a lot of average teams there, and that is with respect to Seville, Lens, and PSV. Like when West Ham won the fucking Europa Dross or whatever dickhead league it was, we could struggle in the league, just like West Ham. Not struggle as bad as them. I'm going 5th, mate, right now. We're one injury away from a disaster, so I'm going 5th. We are going 5th. What's the point here? I don't get it. When was that? Something about Bergkamp's son. I don't actually get it. Shouts out to all the real ones, though. Do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we're new. Real ones, I'll get back to you all soon. What's up with this guy's phone? But anyway, all right. 4th, Lieka says. Because of Arteta. I'm going 3rd. But I have to say, if we aren't in a title race come Christmas, then I'm sorry, it's time to go. Well, again, I'll already confirm he won't go. But anyway, a title race, I don't think so. As long as Liverpool can keep Salah, they're going to look better than us. Shrubbysley, or Shrubby, so whatever you want to call him. I've been watching closely his first couple of Premier League games. He's a fucking good player. Fucking good player. And he costs less than Havertz. Bro, again, even if we got well, it would come to the business of we'd have to play Man City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich eventually. And they would fuck us up. Bro, we could struggle against PSV. We did last year or the year before, no? Oh, that's why, bro. Them Star Dark and me got mad at it. You got a link, man. You got a link, man. Them things should be sacked. Yeah, we got no chance. With the group we've been dealt, you know what I mean? We could qualify from it. For me, we should qualify top. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah. Yeah, I get your point, bros, but no. We get down to the nitty-gritty in the Champions League. You know what I mean? And Newcastle, I reckon they could make a fucking better shot of it than us in that group that they're in, because we would just fold in a group like that. Lokonga, Tavares, or Tierney all went out on loan. None of them extended their deals by a year to protect their value, the club's asset. I don't get it. Not many great teams. What? Where? In the Champions League? Well, let's look anyway. Let's do. And by the way, guys, statistically, like Arsenal have the last couple of seasons, we've spent 130, 140. We've done it again. Do the maths, guys. Exaka 21, Mari about 4 mil, Trusty about 5 mil, Turner 10 mil, Holding 4 mil, and then Balogun 38 mil. Take that 80 million. Yeah? Take that 80 million note. Take that away from the 210. We've spent about 130. So we had the budget already. We knew what we were doing. We ran out and got the players fast. The only bonus is Forest gave us 7 million in live cash for Matt Turner, and we used 3 million of it to go and get Raya. Keeps coming off and off. Not a steady connection. Connect to your phone. If we win the Champions League, I'd give everyone in this chat 2k each. We have no chance. Well, I'd close down the channel if we won the Champions League. Arteta can't win fucking the Champions League, bros. Do you know what I mean? He's had his greatest chance of winning the league at Arsenal. I've told you, Liverpool can't be as bad. Chelsea can't be as bad as finishing 12th, mate. Tottenham already look better under Ange Postecoglou and his brand of football. Yeah? Man United, they could have had a dodgy season just like us. But even though it weren't great signings today, you need a backup keeper. They needed Amrabat or someone that's going to work hard in the midfield, and they needed a left back. We needed a left back. We done nothing. Nothing. We gave away to. Not even for decent loan fees. Yeah, big up, Big Ange. I'm telling ya. You had to come in and deal with the whole Harry Kane situation. His man asleep. Acres, we can beat any of those teams in the Champions League apart from City. Less games, bro. And even though
I'm not asleep. I'm not asleep. I'm just I'm feeling sleepy, but I promised my boy Danny I'd join him. And I told him I was a bit knackered, so here I am.
I'm going to jump out shortly. I'm feeling fucking but I'm going to finish. Hold on, let me is many asleep, forget that. Let me just finish this one. Less games, but that's what I'm saying, bro. Let's look at the team that have put us out the Europa League since Arteta has been here.
Olympiacos,
Villarreal,
Unai Emery's lot.
Yep.
And Sporting Lisbon on penalties. Gonçalves from the halfway line against Ramsdale. I literally felt so sick watching that.
So hold on, Manny. I give you 3 reasons, Jimmy, why we can't win the Champions League. Olympiacos. Who again, Manny? Villarreal and whoever. There's 3 reasons why we can't win the Champions League. Mwah. That's for you, my UE. Guys, do leave a like on the video. Do be subscribing if we are new. 19 minutes left of the window. I believe that is it done. If there was a surprise, I think it would be like a Calvin Phillips to Liverpool. I'm surprised he's still at City.
Calvin Phillips? Oh, mate, you are having a laugh with that one.
No, mate. They did make an inquiry, but Man City apparently upset Liverpool. They asked for 45 million cash the other day. Yeah. I can't believe the Jude Bellingham. 88 mil. 66 million of 65 for Havertz. Fuck me.
And just look at how Bellingham's tearing it up in Madrid, scoring for fun and proving himself to be a worthy heir to that iconic 5 jersey that Zidane wore all those years.
The Acres. But you're saying Bayern Munich, Madrid, Man City. They didn't put us out of the Europa League, bro. So we're not ready for them teams there.
Well, what he's saying is that against those teams, we're going to get smoked.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Against them, I don't think it's going to take them teams to smoke us. They ain't what they once was, bro. Let's see. Maybe I'm just being a typical fan. I hear you, and I hear what you're saying about less games. If we was having, say, we were 7th or 8th in the league, yeah, I think Arteta would down tools in the league, FA Cup and League Cup immediately, and go all out Champions League. But again, for me, the quality would show up somewhere. Do you know what I mean? And a Jacob at left back or a Tommy Yasu at left back, just basically an out of player position would cost us in a high profile game.
You bet. I mean, why do you think Cancelo's been bouncing around? I mean, you know, people have tried him at left back. It hasn't really worked too well. And most of these big teams are smart enough to see that if you try to copy some of the bigger teams, you're not going to do very well. I don't know if you enjoy Aesop fables, but there's a very popular one about a crow who wanted to be like a beautiful white swan, ashamed of his dark appearance. The problem is he couldn't do all of the things the swan could do, didn't like eating fish, couldn't swim very much, and so in the end, he didn't live very long and didn't get to become white. So sometimes you've got to just be you and do what works best for you. And if it doesn't work best, do something different. Don't try to be pig-headed and sit and say, you know, I will this time. I will get it right. I know what I'm doing. And that is one reason why, as I've said, I'll always respect Ten Hag, because he realizes that things don't work and just doesn't do them anymore.
Well, that's what any decent manager, when you get paid that amount of money. But Salah going Saudi, boys, guys, that is a game changer for Liverpool. If they get 170, 80, 200 mil for this guy, if players are available in January, they'll do it then. If not, they'll have to wait till next summer. But then next summer, that's what I mean. Liverpool are levels ahead of us. They must be wishing the Saudi people just come and took him for 200 mil at the start of the window. Then they would have got Szoboszlai, they would have got Jude Bellingham, and everything would have been rosy at Liverpool. And they would have had a real chance, not like Arsenal, of actually competing and winning the Premier League. She's only bantering. What's he saying? Hearing a poem. It's true though. Blah blah blah. I've got one. All right. Oh god. Liverpool struggle for top 4. I don't know, with their little Europa League group. You know what I mean? Szoboszlai is going to be a good signing. Darwin Núñez, I think, is going to have a good season, and that's not just because of his 2 goals the other day. I've been saying he gets into great positions and never kind of gives up. I've seen him have 5 chances in a game, score 1 and miss 4 sitters, but he gets in them positions. So
exactly, that's what you want from the striker.
Even with or without Salah, I don't think they're that fucked. They've got players. I mean, they've got more players up front than Arsenal. We've just got Nketiah and Jesus. They've got more. They've got more, trust me. So, yeah, that would be the best thing that ever happened to Liverpool. Because he's 31.
Just like losing Harry Kane could prove to be one of the best things to ever happen to Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, not really. Because, again, okay, when they done it with Bale, they fucked up the 100 mil or whatever they had to spend. And obviously is proven already, I'm pretty sure he ain't that stupid. But just imagine if fucking Ange had had Kane. It could have been wonderful. Instead, he's got probably Richarlison or whatever up front.
Well, Heung-min Son's no mug, I can tell you that. So he's probably going to have a little bit more. Yeah, but he definitely had a funny
season last year, so I think all eyes are on him, and Brennan Johnson's in. But in saying that, he made him captain, so yeah, I'm sure he will have a great stream. A great season. Shouts out to all the real ones, though. Do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. What's my phone doing? Posted videos. All right, let's just get out of TikTok. 12 minutes left of the window, guys. I can't believe I was so right to the extent that, like, we just done nothing. We done nothing. Shouts out to all the real ones on the group. Nottingham Forest, they've spent so much money in the last 48 hours, guys. They come Arsenal and they take Tavares. Watch when Zinni gets injured. Real talk. Why won't these Arsenal super fans, or these people that have these alleged voices and networks that are getting heard so much better than mine, why ain't no one saying nothing?
They're in on it. They're in on it. They want to get some clout from the club, possibly, an appearance on the telly, and you just know that all of these big Arteta in accounts are the ones who are going to get the most exposure, because people are going to like what they have to say. People like you and me and others, not so lucky.
It's just so unfair, mate. You know what I mean?
But listen. Whenever you feel like this, I tell you, you know what? We don't do this for the clout. We do this because we enjoy what we do, and we're passionate about Arsenal Football Club. So,
yeah, most definitely. That wasn't the angle. I mean, unfair is in. I mean, even when they're so wrong, again, the excuses. Like again, just the whole left back thing. Zinni wasn't that great last year, man. You know what I mean? And to leave him as a fucking lone ranger. Mohamed Al Fayed has died.
Oh, former owner of Fulham Football Club, and also a potential father-in-law to her late Royal Highness Princess Diana.
Yeah, Fulham connections.
You know.
Thank you, Lee. Take my hat off.
At least
And I
he'll
mean,
be.
Dan, you're always pessimistic. You're always negative. Lee, it's because we always do the obvious things. Sometimes we're trying to, I think sometimes, Lee, not just aiming it at you. What are we trying to do? Sell season tickets. So we hype up the people. We thought we'd change the tactic, do it early this year. But a couple of days after the Havertz and the Rice, and that was it. I knew we were done. And there were still other positions for me that needed filled, or at least don't let people go. I remember on a stream a couple of weeks ago when I said, would you rather sign, who was it, this person, or just keep what is going to go out? And when I meant basically, would you just keep the Tierney, Tavares, or at least one of the two, rather than, what's going on now? And of course, I would rather keep one of our left backs. Lokonga, at this moment, you know what I mean? He may as well fucking stay at the team. If he doesn't like party, like what is going on with Gabriel? Do you know what I mean? What is going on? The way he come on the other day and was celebrating winning tackles and corners, you could see he wants to be in the team. He was trying to make some sort of point to the Arsenal fans, show Arteta something. Arteta went into this window, I believing certain men were gone. Party was gone. Gabriel was going to be gone. You know what I mean? And maybe there was going to be more opportunities to sign people. And and the rare one should have showed us that, because we did get money for Forest. We squeezed 7 million live cash out of them on the spot, and then used 3 of it to get Brentford, who must have been deflated because they won the battle with Tottenham. But shouts out to you, E. You're always right. Yeah, bro. I wish I wasn't, especially when it comes to like how we're going to fuck things up. Do you know what I mean? Again, the Timber thing is so unfortunate, but you've got to account for that. When you're going to spend 100 million on Rice and 40 million on a right back, you've got to think, how necessary is this 65 mil? It wasn't I gassed it up. I thought maybe what it was, Lee, and again, I'm going to say straight. I've been really, and again, you haven't listened recently. Everyone's been saying, whether it's on Twitter, again, the usual bad comments. What's Ramsdale done to you? Why are you saying he should be dropped? I'm saying Ramsdale's got to be dropped, bruvs, against Man U. Half for the other day, and just to keep him on his toes. I like competition.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with you there, because, like, if you drop Ramsdale and Raya has a stinker, then just how bad will that decision look? I'm not.
Hold on, Manny. You take it on the chin and you get Ramsdale back in goal. Mourinho, again, love or hate Mourinho. If fucking Ramsdale was having a bad game and we were 2-0 down in 25 minutes, Mourinho will take that cunt off there and then and send on Raya. You know what I mean? How bad does that look? Blah, 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 publicly and whatever. Mourinho don't give a fuck. And I can promise you, Arteta will never win all the trophies Mourinho has, or all 4 European trophies available. I can guarantee.
I completely get what you're saying, but let's also take a look at this from another point of view. And I remember saying this on another stream with a group of mates of mine. Shout out to Oris Talks Football. Really good channel, some terrific people. No airs or graces, no pretensions. Really good bunch of guys. I'm a co-host there, so I wouldn't mind trying to get you on there if you like, but obviously you're more content to do your own thing. But we were talking about it, and a lot of people were saying that, you know, this could be the perfect opportunity to get Raya in for the reason you said. But then you can't make such a seismic change before a game of such significance unless, you know, the situation demands it. When we replaced Leno with Ramsdale, our record at the time was played 3, lost 3, and we didn't even score a goal for Toffee. So Arteta decided to take a chance on Ramsdale in the League Cup. It worked well, and said, you know what? I might just give this fella a chance to play in the league, and it worked out well, and he never looked back ever since. But here...
This one's because there's a lot of comments coming in, but you did gas up Havertz. What it was, bruvs, again, like any fan like yourself, Lee, and I'm sure deep down you knew, and it's on my fucking, like, my kid's life, like, I shouldn't even have to go that deep, like, as mum is watching me. All the alarm bells were there, especially at the 65 mil. I thought maybe something else. I thought maybe Arteta has got this right. Get Timber in, get Rice, and maybe he is the competition. Because I remember saying it on the stream. Me and you, we went at lengths talking to keep, similar to Ramsdale and Raya, to keep Odegaard on his feet. He's had 3 years Premier League experience, blah, blah, blah. I thought Jesus can get injured here and there. And Nketiah, the same last year. When we needed them both, they were both injured, What do we do in January? Trossard. left back, Jacob, I mean, and Jorginho. So what I thought from the start, mate, yeah, until I see the very first pre-season game, him in centre mid, and then I realised the Partey was no longer in the plans. Even though deep down, and I'm not trying to back up on it, I knew at 65 mil he wasn't going to be a squad player, but it was more of a squad player unless you hit the ground running. I said he had to do what Trossard, what all Lee and everyone, all the other Arsenal fans thought, what Trossard done. For me, he only hit the ground running. He come into a team that was top and doing well. He didn't come into a team 8th and bring them out of the gutter and make them finish 4th Champions League. He just hit the ground running at a club that was actually playing well. Anyway, just to finish the point, I was just trying to be optimistic. Watching him just watching him in pre-season, even though he got them 2 goals, I knew it already. This guy is not a central midfielder. As soon as I see when Partey hit the place, as soon as I see him play Jacob and Tommy before he even gave Tierney a minute, yeah, and Tavares not even allowed to train with the club, Pepe the same. This is Arteta doing the same thing. Saliba, Guendouzi, do you know what I mean? Not doing it for Arsenal Football Club, the badge, doing it for him.
The brand.
And then it becomes unacceptable for me. Drop Odegaard for a game. Yeah? Play him as a 10. Fucking Ketia off if Jesus ain't fit. Play him as a 9. Because he can't do any worse as a 9. For me personally, if you played him for 5 games, Acre, 90 minutes in a row, no matter whatever, from this game on Sunday starting, he's got to score 2 or 3 in 5 games for me. That's as good, if not better, than what Jesus or Nketiah will do, in my opinion. So that was the only optimistic bit I was looking at Havertz. Maybe a striker. Give him time, Akers. Give him time, son. Mate, it isn't the time. He's not a central midfielder. You can give him 5 seasons in central midfield. It's just going to look worse on Arsenal and make the results worse, mate. He's not a central midfielder. And you don't put a really good central midfielder, a professional guy like Thomas Partey, in the bin for a guy that ain't a central midfielder. 3 years, and again, not a central midfielder. And again, whether it's Mudrak, whether it's anyone they've signed, whether it's Sterling, whether it's Broja, Chelsea are bastards to all sorts of people. We don't have time either perform or shut the door. Well, that's what Ten Hag has done. Mount got an injury, so that's his little get-out clause. I get it. I wish Havertz had got one, but anyway. And he got, but he realised. Pundits have been watching him on Sky Sports News all day long, saying he holds his hands up. The Casemiro by himself was a bit too much.
Exactly. It takes a big man to admit his mistakes, and Erik Ten Hag will always be a much bigger man than Mikel Arteta will ever be.
And again, I don't know how much I believe it, and the Emil Smith-Rowe advances from Chelsea, but a couple of people have told me that Chelsea was up for doing some form of swap regarding Mykhailo Mudryk. Right about now, especially with the cameo of Fabio Vieira the other day, that just puts Emil Smith-Rowe further down the pecking order. Check the group, no problem, right away. Let me see what my brothers are saying. Guys, do get the likes on the video. What's this here? I don't know, you're a G. Oh, shit. Man, I'm really trying to catch my reactions today. I love it.
Okay, let me just go back to the BBC page. We might have, a nice farewell to Brennan Johnson from Forest. Definitely a good window for them, but once again, they brought too many players, keeping them happy. PSV have signed Armel Bella-Kotchap on a season-long loan. He'll enjoy playing in the Champions League. He had only joined Southampton last summer from Bochum, so from being relegated to playing in the Champions League, enjoy yourself, son.
Hold on. Nketiah, England international. Bro, my only response to that is Harry Maguire is an England international. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, so the Salah deal might not yet be dead. but the Lokonga loan deal is probably the last we've got for now. Let me just refresh the page. And of course, Bella Kotchap joining PSV.
Well, there's no one else on the
So,
naughty boy stick. Hold on the naughty boy stall. So the last bit is to decide is, bro, was the other guy that's not allowed to train at the moment, Nicola Pepe, the guy that was our record signing until Rice popped up. What happens with him?
Curious and curiouser, as they say in Alice in Wonderland.
Havertz will score against United. He may do, but he'll still play shit in the centre of midfield. Amrabat, if he's playing, if he's allowed to play, and Casemiro will snap him. Rice is going to have his work on his hands on Sunday, boys.
Oh, yeah. That much is true.
But we will lose Sunday because Ten Hag. Exactly. And he won't play two attacking midfielders like we are with Odegaard and Havertz. McTominay, someone will have to come back into the fold. It's 11 p.m, guys. That's it. Cedric will rip up his contract probably. Pepe, I reckon, will rip up his contract. He'll be released. Just like Kasper Schmeichel. He's just been released by Nice for whatever reason. So I'll imagine he's got his new team lined up. You know what I mean? Kasper Schmeichel, not a bad deputy for a couple of teams.
Deputy my foot. That guy should be a number one at some decent club.
Most definitely. Rah! Getafe have confirmed Greenwood. Wow. That's brave of them.
Yep, I did mention that. And, you know, I don't want to go too in-depth into the whole case and everything. And I will say this. If United are serious about clamping down on, you know, violence against women, they will need to consider, you know, the ties they keep with a certain George Best.
People can get told off for, they call it historical tweets or whatever. How about that he's dead, Manny? Or I don't know. Again, it's not right, Manny. Things was just so different back in that sort of day and era. But I totally agree with you, bros. I'm just saying, innit? Like, I never watched George Best play football. He's way before me, bros. But
neither did I. But listen, if Jimmy Savile could have all of his, you know, awards and you know, all of his knighthood or what have you taken away from him because all of the evidence of his crimes came out after he died. You know, if we were to confirm all of those things about Bestie and, you know, his ex-wife and son can definitely, you know, confirm everything, then, you know, there's no excuse why you can't do that. I mean, we can't use the excuse that things were different back in the day. As times change, you change with the times. And I know that sounds
maybe son was too young or something.
PC, but
wife could have said something while he was alive, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, again, I don't want to be heartless. I don't know George Bestie's family or never watched him play football. So, again, I'm way out of my depth to answer the question. My feeling is it's probably money motivated by someone in the family. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Why is Ricky Hatton? That's a bit different. Just done a documentary about his life going from 4 world championships to then fucking 1 million courts and being bankrupt, because obviously whoever bastard that made that fucking documentary has fucking paid him a nice pound note, innit? But again, not qualified to answer. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how old the kid was when he was doing all these things. How much visual proof has he got? I can't remember fuck all from when I was 4 or 5 or 6, man. Do you know what I mean? Just me personally. I don't know how many years this guy lived to what this son could have seen. But if I Google it right now, I don't know. It might be like the kid was 3 when he died. Well, then it's all fucking hearsay, mate. If he was 15 when he died, who knows? Can you answer this for me, Manny, or?
George Best passed away at the age of 59 from multiple organ failure, and I believe his son Callum was in his 20s.
Okay, so there you go. That means I'm wrong then. That means I would be 100% wrong then, I suppose, bros. You know what I mean? And his son would have a decent picture. So again, that's how I told you, being very honest about it, just frank the way I am. I can't really answer this. Didn't know much about George Best. Of course, I know a lot about football, so I hear his name. But I hear a lot about Liam Brady. Couldn't tell you fuck all, mate. You know what I
mean? Yeah, well, thankfully, Brady kept his nose clean. Lovely fella, as he was. And look, Bestie, at his best, was a good person at times. But, it was the alcohol probably that did that to him. That can't be an excuse in this day and age, but it's another reminder that sometimes we've got to make sure that we do better for ourselves. And I've got a close mate of mine who says that in as much as I may have a point about George Best, the fact that he's part of that statue, that trilogy statue with Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton, means that is a very sensitive issue, and it cannot be, just resolved in that particular way. If you get rid of Best, you get rid of the Trinity. I say just make a different statue with Law and Bobby, and jobs are good.
Again, I don't know what the hearsays was and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I totally take your point. Manny, of course. Do a couple of comments. He'll make mincemeat out of them. Mason Goodgrave. Yeah, we just said that. Getafe. Yep, brave. How long you live for, bro? I need to go and pray. I don't know. I'm going to probably leave the building pretty soon. Deadline day is over.
Yeah, because listen, the window is... Yeah, listen, we've got some news. The deadline has been shut. It's been closed in England. There could be a few more deals as long as the clubs have gotten the sheets in with the Premier League in time. So I think it's fair to say that if you want to shut the stream, Danny, you can do so. But we are going to find out about some more deals that have been done tomorrow, and maybe we can discuss them then. No point in keeping this on for any longer.
No problem. I'm going to just go on to these. Tony Adams used to turn up to training on matches, pissed and went prison. But apparently he's a better pro than Messi. I don't know. Hold on. But then again, Tony Adams, if you also read his book and his documentary, asked Ivan Gazidis and Arsene Wenger, could he work for the club on the coaching role or work with the kids as a defensive coach for free? Maybe Arsene Wenger put a stop to that. Maybe that's why Arsene Wenger sold Paul Merson immediately, because of his personal life and Class A and alcohol. Again, I don't want to use it as in different areas. Maybe George Graham allowed certain things that Arsene Wenger came into this club and said, "Sacre bleu," and just weren't having it, mate. But again, turning up pissed again. I know it ain't very professional, but yeah, these things used to happen back in the day, man. I don't know what to say, man. And yeah, he drove in his car through a wall pissed, you know what I mean? And went to prison for it.
Win or lose, get on the booze. That's how it was with the Arsenal back in the day. I think there were a few exceptions to the rule, like David Seaman and Lee Dixon, who called themselves the straight batters because they never believed in, that sort of lifestyle. But again, I mean, not all football players are saints. Seaman cheated on both his ex-wives,
Hold on 1 minute. And again, cheating on the ex-wife, we know morally it's wrong, Manny. And Yui, I just didn't read that properly there. Hold on, Clister went prison, but apparently he's a better pro than Mesut Ozil. Well, Mesut Ozil, even right at the end, you know what I mean? He stayed, like it or not, but he was on 350 grand. Very professional. He'd play that game, whatever it was. I can't remember the silly little computer game he'd play. Fortnite. That's the cunt. And you know what I mean? Show himself at lakeside shopping on match days. But what are you supposed to do when a club just doesn't want you? Fuck it. I would have done the same thing as Messi. I would have took the 350 grand and said, fuck you, I'm playing Fortnite. Fuck you, I'm going live on YouTube, and fuck you. But again, Ozil was a very, as we know, Ozil wasn't a pisshead and done Class A off toilet seats and blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of the Wenger thing, I don't want to get into Ozil no more. Again, if Wenger had stayed another couple of seasons, so would have Ozil, innit? Things changed after that. Do you know what I mean? Whether Emre was forced to not play him, you know what I mean? We know Emre was forced to sign Pepe. He wanted Fabinho, not fucking Torreira. He wanted Maguire. Thank fuck that never happened. Not Popolopoulos.
Just call him Socrates, Greek philosopher, easy to remember.
Sorry, Manny, because these ones are... I love Tony Adams. I don't like people persecuting Ozil, but let me tell you straight. Adams would have died for the club. Ozil wouldn't have pissed on the club. He would have just earned 350 grand. Ozil was still a model professional, though. He didn't go out on the piss. He didn't go prison. He didn't go out partying with the boys 24 hours before a football game. Adams done all of these things. So, you know what, Yuri, I take my hat off to you, and I actually agree massively to a certain extent of all of that.
Yeah, but there's a part of me that doesn't really feel too much sympathy for the guy. I mean, for a fellow who bangs the drum about human rights, for him to be pictured with Erdogan at his wedding and make him his best man was definitely not a good look. I mean, whatever people think, the Turkish president.
Okay, yeah. but he is Turkish.
German
Alright.
of Turkish heritage, and you know you don't get
Oh,
to
look at
play
him.
for.
I know enough Turkish brothers out here to tell you he's Turkish. I don't know why he would have chose Germany. I think he's a bit of a cunt for that, but that's a different political question. Maybe he just wanted the success and the stardom and a better chance of winning World Cups, which, fair play to him, he actually did. Not every motherfucker out here can say they won a World Cup. Do you know what I mean? People want Ivan Toney at the club. I don't know. I think it's kind of bad when you bet against your own club.
You think it's bad, mate? It is the worst thing you could do. Simple as that.
There you go. But I could tell you, Lee Akers. I'm not attacking Lee. Luca come in and said it earlier. Oh, we must get the Messiah, Tony. Bros, he's played for 3 clubs and betted against all of them. I don't like that kind of bastard.
Neither do I. You bet against your club, you're committing an act of treachery. No, thank you, son. Off you go.
I'm loving this.
I mean, as much as we can criticize Magic Man for his gambling addiction, I don't think he ever bet against the Arsenal.
Of course not. But what did
Hopefully,
Wenger do?
I'm not wrong.
Wenger, for me, the Magic Man had the best season at Arsenal. He re-established himself as a human being and a footballer after the addictions, got back into the England team, had a great season at Arsenal. For me personally, his best ever season at the club. Wenger said, thanks for the season, get the fuck out of my club.
I still believe that he wanted to keep Magic Man, but Magic Man chose the money and moved to Middlesbrough.
No way.
And it worked out well because I'll tell you why. At that particular stage, by that season, Bergkamp had, of course, joined and was starting to come into his own. So there was no guarantee that Magic Man would have gotten the playing time he wanted. He moved to Middlesbrough in the Championship at the time, or I think it was still the First Division then. Got the playing time he wanted, got back into the, ended up being picked for France 98 at the expense of Gaza. And it worked out well in that respect. But had he stayed at Arsenal, maybe he would have gotten the help he wanted the way Tony Adams did. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all ifs and buts. And he still proved himself to be a more than decent footballer. But I think by the time he won promotion with Portsmouth, he himself decided that his best days were behind him. And then he left to go to Walsall. But I'm always going to remember him at his best playing for Arsenal. He might have enjoyed himself more at Middlesbrough and Aston Villa. But for me, always an Arsenal
you know what? It's so funny. I heard him talk live. Just today, he was on Sky Sports News, yeah?
Yeah.
As he said, he goes, if it wasn't for just wanting money, yeah? He went, fuck, he made the biggest fuck up of my life going Middlesbrough. He goes, but again, he went, the money they offered me was fucking incredible. Do you know what I mean? He goes, the addictions I had, I'd have been stupid to turn it down. Yui, I'll stay till midnight if that's what you want, my brother. Do the late deals. There's a reason there's a statue outside the Emirates. Let me tell you something. Why does all the statues at the Emirates, yeah, like Thierry Henry, all face the stadium? WB made this point to me, and I like it. Adams, yeah, maybe because he went prison and he was a pisshead, and Wenger both fucking face a fucking idiot block. You know the block that basically is inside the Emirates? That little fucking white boy block where you have to be really, really rich to live in it. They point towards that block. Am I reading too much into it? Did you say yes, Manny? It was WB that made it the other day.
I've never really considered that, to be honest.
No, if you look, Thierry Henry is facing towards like the South Stand, yeah? And whatever other statue are all facing the stadium, the new stadium. But the late arrivals, yeah? Like, well, Adams, I think, was there. No, I think Adams was put in late. They all follow. Like, Adams is like this outside the little fucking private estate for rich people. And now Wenger has been put outside there near the museum, outside this little rich estate as well. So I don't know. Is that Arsenal's way of saying fuck you?
I mean, that could be one way to look at it. But another question which some of my mates ask is that for his contribution to Arsenal, Arsenal's success over the years, why hasn't Georgie Graham got his own statue? And it could very well be that the whole bung issue, which saw him sacked by the club, is still, you know, it still leaves a bit of a bitter taste in their mouth.
Was around when he done this shit. But anyway, there is more, because I put it on Twitter the other day. I made a little video. There's more little holes been made in the fashion that the same way the Arsene Wenger was, and they've been gated off in the same way that the Arsene Wenger one was gated off before he landed, obviously, via helicopter or whatever, to put him in his place. And the Arsene Wenger statue now sits outside, very proudly, outside the tower block, but still at the Emirates. But there is 4 more spaces. So I have a feeling, and I'll take another video. I'll send it to the group in a minute when I find it. WB, if you're ever listening, send it to me, because he recorded it for me. I have a feeling there's more legends on their way. And who would be next, guys? So I'm telling you, right next to Wenger, Lee, because you must have noticed it. You go to the stadium all the fucking time. Have you noticed there's another 4 little plots all carved out with the stones in the middle, just like they did for the Wenger one, because I did stalk it and watch, and they're all gated off now. So I do think there's 4, possibly 5 more statues landing that all might face that tower block. Who could it be? Who is it? Maybe some.
My personal favorite is "Who Could It Be Now?"
You know, that would be more
from probably before, that's before your time.
We love all music around here, Manny. Can Manny give us a what? A synthesis of the up and coming season.
A what?
Please. Buzz, go. There you go. There's a comment for you while I get myself a drink. Hold on, guys. Do be getting the lights on the video. The window is closed. Go on, Manny.
By up and coming, I'm assuming you mean this current season, and all I can say.
How does Arsenal finish, you? I think he means what's going on at Arsenal?
Okay, good. So, in as much as I'd like to say it's too early to judge, it doesn't really look too good with the way we're tactically being set up at the moment. So, unless Arteta gets his act together and pulls his finger out of his backside, it's going to be more of the same, and that's my biggest worry. This game against United will be a litmus test for our season, and if we don't win this, we can kiss our chances of challenging for the league goodbye. We can't even beat a Manchester United team that are not in the best of form. How are we going to fare against the likes of Manchester City and a resurgent Liverpool and other teams? And don't forget Aston Villa, they're cooking as well. 15 goals in their last 4 games, conceding only 1. Of course, the opposition has been absolutely piss poor, but still, you play the team you're up against and do as well as you can.
Bars, we might finish with that in a minute, Lee. You've caught me on a mad one, but who knows, we might do that. Or a statement regarding him from the great man, Danny AFC TV. Well, you want me to name him personally, like by name, yeah? The great Gallas. Call it a review of the Gallas. He deserves something slimy. Makes me sick how people lord up Wenger and Ozil, 2 scumbags who fucked this club for years.
Rinse.
Wow. I know, but let's just put it as in fucked. Bros, Wenger's a legend, man. I don't know what happened in the last 11 years, but he's a living legend out here. Like, would you really rather Arteta over him?
Absolutely not. I think with there's a saying: it is always better to leave as a hero than stay and become a villain. I think by staying a bit too long, he's almost effectively become a villain. But I mean,
but then again,
we're always going to have the invincibles.
This guy is more than going to outstay his welcome. Arteta ain't going to go nowhere. We need a 24-hour stream. When Arsenal do something worth, but then again, I could still knock out a 24-hour stream. But yeah, maybe not quite tonight. Is this the last 2 here? Hold on. Giving George Graham a statue after what he done.
You get some nosh ready, and you can get the energy. I'm afraid not. But I mean, giving George Graham a statue after what he did is like giving Tony Blair a statue for human rights issues by going to Iraq. Wow. Apparently the bung issue is not something for which UE is prepared to forgive.
Well, these man didn't get the same sort of money. George Graham took 50 grand, 100 grand in his pocket. Arsenal probably paid him 5 grand a week, even when he won titles, or 2 grand a week. I don't give a fuck about his bum. I just wish it had been for a decent footballer. It was for fucking Paul Laderson from the Scandinavian market. Brennan
Yeah,
Johnson
because I'll tell you what,
confirmed.
Jez Collins and Kenny Ken have been very passionate about this particular issue, and Collins in particular is really apoplectic about the fact that Georgie hasn't gotten his statue. But
But, guys,
clearly,
again, I know, hold on. That's it doesn't trigger me like that. And you, Ely Akers, I love you both. But guys, Wenger finished 4th, season in, season out, with scraps. Like Arteta's had a decent money again. Like no one told him or held him to gunpoint to buy fucking Havertz for 65 mil. I've got a challenge for Danny AFC TV. Go on, bros. You have to do a 24-hour stream, which you see all the way through without leaving. That's got to be like worth a prize, because, bros, I could do that for fun. I could do that. When I say not leaving, I go piss and everything. If I don't, don't go, it'd be a challenge. I could do it, bros.
Mate, you're gonna have to have one of those baggies with you in case you need to answer nature's call. I really don't know if it would be worth it.
No, but believe me, I'll be able to run to it. I think they mean don't leave, as in fuck off out the ass and leave the camera all in. No, I won't do that. I could definitely do it, but I'd love to do it on a weekend. Say when there is boxing at 4 a.m. and there's something going on at midnight in England, and then there was Arsenal Man United 4 p.m. Say like this Sunday, for example, if there was a fight late, or Saturday, say there was I'd done a 3 p.m. stream and then covered the boxing at 10, and then there was an American live boxing event like 4 a.m. Mate, that would all be like candy from a kid for me, Lee Akers. I could do that a piece of piss, trust me.
I mean, when it comes to American sports, I, defer to American football and ice hockey. Baseball, no chance, too boring.
Oh, no, I don't do baseball, bros. I don't do WWE, even though I've had a couple of requests for it, etc. But, I mean, I could do like a boxing in England, a 3 p.m. kickoff, a 7:45 kickoff, then do the boxing at 10 p.m., then a load of other Arsenal and whatever talk up until 3 a.m., and then cover the American boxing. And then, mate, what I'm basically saying is, in a nutshell, I could, and he just put, I'll give you 300 notes for it. Mate, I could fucking kick a 24-hour stream. Not even a problem. Right, you know what I'm going to do, Lee? I'm going to stalk the next real busy weekend of sports. It won't be on a Sunday. It'll be a Friday or Saturday. A boxing event in the UK, then Jake Paul in America. You watch. I'm going to find a busy weekend, and I'm going to do a 24-hour bonanza. You watch this.
Oh, good luck to you for that. And bear in mind, this coming Monday will be Labor Day in the United States. It is a public holiday, or a bank holiday, as we'd call it. So you might get some good stuff going on then. Watch the space.
Watch this space, mate. I could have guests coming in and out. Manny could come and do an hour or two here and there. He might wake up and still see I'm live and think, fuck, I'm going to come and say good morning again. That's a bit random, Phil. Kenny Kim and Jez. Who's Jez? Pair of plonks.
Jez Collins.
I've heard his name. I can't actually put a face to it. I know Kenny Kim.
Jez Collins is the old fella who has the Arsenal, the History and More channel on YouTube. And he actually was the guy who was attacked by a couple of thugs with his wife when they were going out to dinner and then coming back home. I remember putting a video.
Random, or was it anything to do with YouTube or
something to do with his YouTube channel and the fact that he's very outspoken against Arteta? Those thugs were obviously.
Hold on, can I just stop you there, guys? If anyone, I'm so sorry. If anyone wants to try that shit with me, I could be walking with a grandson. I could be walking with a girlfriend. Guys, then again, sorry, Manny. That's why it hasn't happened. As I said about the girl thing earlier, which I didn't want to go into madly, a load of people surrounded me at the Emirates Pubs. It was hilarious, and it was actually caught for Twitter. They even done a dub over on my voice, which was like some Cockney East London white geezer, like Danny Dyer. Hello, mate. This is Danny. It was fucking pathetic. Anyway, and then all the slurs against me, mate. That would almost turn me on. And like, again, I wouldn't want to be a grandson in any situation, but I'll tell you what, if I was with any bird and someone tried a situation, mate, I'll make an example out of the cunt. That's a bit out of order, though. I can't place this Jez dude. I can't think or imagine it. Is he Londoner? I don't know who he is.
I think he used to live in London, Islington, where Arsenal basically were based, and now he's. I don't want to divulge where he lives right now, though, because that wouldn't be fair to him.
No, of course. So shit, he probably moved away all because of this sort of shit. Again, I don't know the geezer, I don't know his YouTube or anything, so I don't want to be ignorant on it. But mate, don't change your lifestyle, mate, and you come back harder. If someone fucks with you, you fuck with them harder, and make sure you know who it is, and then fuck them.
Yeah. And I remember actually posting a video on my Instagram live condemning the attack and offering my support to him. And you're not going to believe this, but a large number of Arsenal YouTubers actually saw that and reached out to me to connect with me. So big up to all of you who've done that. But listen, it's all about, the message, which is important. Violence has no place in sport. And listen, they're not plonkers, all right, Phil? You might need to watch your language. I have nothing but the highest respect for those two gentlemen. I don't like the Spanish gunner very much, I will admit that, but those two guys are not more than okay by me. So please be respectful, yeah?
Shout out to us all. Kelly, I've chatted to him. I'm not going to go into Magnet or anything. For me, he's sort of the same as most people, but yeah. I respect him more than others out here.
Yeah, Kenny's a little bit like Lee Judge and those guys like Lee Judges on AFTV. I mean, as much as people don't like AFTV very much, they're not going to mess around with an old fella like Jez or Lee who's seen a lot of things.
Again, my only beef is, sorry, Manny, is again Kenny Ken. I can because this Twitter account ain't been banned for life. He's like, of course I'm going to do a stream review. He's like, yeah, I'll do a review of the season, blah blah blah. And then, even though he still talks to me here and there, we'll still miss the question of, what happened to our stream? I was like, I know you stream with Lee Gunn. And he was like, all right, don't matter. I can stream with who I like. And then obviously he must have spoke to this, in my opinion, I can show you screenshots if you don't believe me. And then when the day we sort of scheduled it, he didn't answer me. So I thought that was a bit weird. I hate people that do that to me, no matter who they are. So again, no slur against his name, apart from, just big man. Don't say you're going to do something and then back out of it. Because
I can understand that. But listen, I mean, obviously, Kenny's a busy bloke, and he also has a lot of other streaming commitments with other channels. I'm not defending. I'm not defending him per se.
I'm just saying it was a straight. It's really bad to stream with Danny AFC TV out here just because of, again, I'm outspoken and blah blah blah. And again, unfortunately, the wall, which you could say what most YouTubers come into it because they want to make money or break down walls. Again, me and you ain't like that, la la la. Anything that I would receive was wonderfully accepted. But again, it's not out there. I'm not screaming super chats. I'm not Spanish gunner. But again, let's cut to the chase. What I'm saying is the walls are so blocked for me now, whether it was Egel and Terry saying I was racist to all Muslims or again, people have done their best to shut my shit down. You know what I mean? YouTube emailed me, you know what I mean? I had over 150,000 complaints about me in one particular month a little while back. Imagine that. So YouTube felt they had to actually acknowledge this and sort of email me saying even though they don't reckon, even though they've looked into all 150,000 violations, they believe I'm actually innocent on all 150,000 incredibly, or I'm smart enough to actually word it and then get myself out of it. Whatever the point being, I've had every kind of cunt, prick, wanker, and tosser try and close down my channel because they're cunts. That's all. And I'm just saying, you can't stop Danny AFC TV. None of these motherfuckers can. And then they can all suck out. Do you know what I mean? That's why I only sort of stream with people. Bubs, Manny, I can't stream with no one. I've been blocked off from the world like I'm a fucking beast, like I'm Mason Greenwood's little cousin or something. Shouts out to Mason Greenwood. And I don't mean that in any way. I just shouldn't have slurred him either. I shouldn't have slurred him. You know what I mean? Hopefully you'll have 1K on TikTok. Bros, as soon as I decide that I want 1K on TikTok, I'm going to be ignorant. I will. I just know already, again, I only can get a certain level because my name is being blocked. If I wasn't racist, I was this. If I wasn't that, I'm this. Fuck them all. Commercial break, bro. Do we need a commercial break? I love it. Offend them over. Wenger took 8 million a year. Yeah, but that's because he was basically admitted it, and I get angry with him for this. He admitted on what used to be known as BT Sports. He kind of admitted it openly. I was encouraged by the board to say that we have £100 million to spend on any one given player as long as it's the right player for the club. At the end of the day, it wasn't totally true. He admitted this. No, not on TNT. Sorry, on the American one. Where David, not the Shaka Hislop, Steve Nicol, them man are. What the fuck is it called?
ESPN.
Yes. He admitted it on there. So that's what gets you $8 million a year, bros. That's why Mourinho hated him. He gets paid more than me for top four. But the board was cool with top four because they made a certain amount of money. He didn't buy any superstars. And Americans won. God bless America, y'all.
Speaking of which, do you miss Matt Turner?
No, of course not.
I mean, obviously, his American...
Manny.
Yeah.
And God bless, man. But I promise y'all, he won't. If Nottingham Forest are to be relegated, dude, he will not do anything to save him, y'all. He will go down with his ship. But let's just see. Brothers, he's okay. He has heart. He has spirit. He ain't a great goal. He's not Arsenal level. Do you know what I mean? End of. That's why the Raya thing thrills me. Do you know what I mean? We're not brave enough to go and buy a keeper 80 million better than Ramsdale, but we've bought one like for like. And you know what? Like for like keeps both of the bastards on their toes.
But I mean, that's what worries me, because one of the things I don't like about Ramsdale is that he flaps like a duck on crosses. Martinez was always the better option there. And that was one of the reasons why we got rid of Leno. Great shot stopper, but because he wasn't tall enough, you know...
What?
You'd compare them...
You signed Neil Maupay on loan from Everton. There's a late one for you guys. Maupay.
No, not late. I saw that earlier, and it's surprising because
I hate him.
There you go. Yeah, Maupay couldn't do the business at Everton, and now Brentford want him. Good luck to the Bees there.
You know what they're
going to
doing?
get stung with that one.
Even though he ain't good, they're just getting ready for life without Tony. They're licking their lips at the little gambling addict. Want that? Everyone seems to want our Arsenal for 80 million quid. Bollocks. Jean RB, UE, Phil, or Lee Akers, whoever's with us, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if anyone's new. Do you guys think Ivan Toney brings Arsenal to league title success and Champions League glory? I just really don't.
I definitely don't. I mean, as you say, I mean, he's doing the business for Brentford, but that's because maybe he's performing well, doing the job that Frank wants him to do.
I've never looked at his stats so close, where how many is penalties, how many are free kicks. I wonder if you do take them away, though, how many does he actually get from open play? But I don't know.
Well, I mean, if he's a set piece specialist, so that's not small potatoes, but still.
Definitely.
I mean,
all right, guys, I suppose it would be almost time to go. Please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Oh my God, I can't spell no more, man. Is this what Arsenal are doing to me? Right, guys, in the comments, where are we at? Shouts out to John RB. John RB, you're way too funny. He would improve us, yes, but to get that extra mile, I'm not sure. Bro, but this is what Arsenal need. We need the extra mile, man.
You bet. The extra.
Hold on, Manny, 1 minute. Hold on. All right, this Hugo, who I've been watching, because remember, Newcastle wanted him last summer, and they waited for like 3-4 weeks in the summer before they decided, fuck this, he's mugging us off, and then he signed for PSG. This Hugo Nketiah, they had a lot of offers from him. PSG apparently sat him down early this morning and said, we want you gone from Paris Saint-Germain, we want you out the club. You're frozen out the first team. Let me just listen, Manny. Basically, he's been told he has no future at PSG. They've had 35 million euro bids on the table today from Frankfurt, Zenit St. Petersburg, West Ham, Crystal Palace had a deal in place both on loan moves. AC Milan had a deal in place for a loan move, and he rejected everyone today out of spite to fuck with PSG. I actually think there's a good player in this striker. I think he's just a little bit fucked up, and I think of Nicolas Anelka in fucked up. He had stupid brothers and agents that wanted to fuck around his Arsenal career and his whole career in general. But it's Hugo Nketiah, whatever, who was wanted and scouted enough by Newcastle and Eddie Howe last summer. has now apparently been frozen out by PSG. He's refused loan offers today. He's refused cash money offers from Zenit St. Petersburg, etc. Interesting. Is he about to be fucking released or something? The Timber injury killed us, Gloves, but again, it can't kill a whole team season. Hold on. Fuck's sakes. Sorry, guys. I've got to make a couple of calls. Shouts out to the team, man. I'm just going to let them know I'm going to give them a shout. For fuck's sakes. Okay, people then, please be in the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Who had the best window? Fucking certainly wasn't Arsenal. Who had the worst window? Who's made the best signing? Who done the best business? Bro, yes, we should have got him. We should have got him. I've got a feeling about this guy. He's never looking Sunoco. Who knows? There's a lot of noise about Ivan Toney coming to us in January. Bro, we won't spend that money in January, and I wouldn't want it. I'm not on that guy. Little betting addict. Hold on. See that, Lee. Is he much better than the England international? Well, I bet Eddie Nketiah has got more chance of playing for England than Ivan Toney. What does that mean to you guys? Interesting. What does that mean to you? People could say Ollie Watkins should be in the England team. Was he? I don't believe he was included. And he's number one at Villa under Emre. Callum Wilson's a backup dancer behind Alexander Isaac at Newcastle. He's still in the England team. Harry Maguire. He don't get minutes for Man United. Even if they get an injury and Lindelof comes on, he don't get minutes. Johnny Evans has signed a deal at Man United today. That means he probably doesn't make the bench no more, Maguire. So to be honest with you, that's why I sort of don't trust or give a fuck about the England or the national team. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing that makes me give a fuck. Is the next English striker after Kane? I don't think so. Manny.
Yep.
You love a stat, yeah? I need you to go and stalk this geezer's career, or at least since he's been at Brentford, yeah? How many goals? How many games? But if you can, I want to know how many goals are from open play. My feeling tells me half or over half of his goals are either from the penalty spot and free kick. Now, even though that would be a useful addition at Arsenal, that doesn't make him Victor Osimhen or Harry Kane, with all respect.
Okay, so
oh, bro, it was fabulous. I smashed it. All the girls, it was a black girl's 20th birthday party. There was only girl there. It was like there was one older black woman there, and she was wearing a suit and she had a screw face. But even though I was chefing, so I was upstairs. But when I went down to the freezer, because I made every excuse to go to the freezer, because a lot of these gal, and there was about 30, 35 of them. Half of them had clothes on, half of them.
You know, the only problem is that Wikipedia doesn't actually break down the goals with regard to whether they're from open play or penalties or not. But obviously, when it comes to Peterborough, United, and Brentford, those have been his two clubs where he's been really, really prolific. 40 league goals from 76 league appearances for Peterborough, and I mean the Posh, and then with the Bees, 63 from 111. I mean the stats speak for themselves.
All right, cool. We're going to have to come back to that because I want to find out more. I'm going to finish what UE said. So, yeah, bro, I was absolutely lit. The Egyptian owner himself, cool. I didn't realise there was one girl smoking shisha, la, la, la. So, in the end, I actually just thought, this thing's piff off. So, I had to just ask her because all the staff were talking to her. I goes, hi, do you work here? Like, you on a day off or you just chilling, like, blazing shisha? And she was like, no, man, I'm the owner's daughter.
Thank God for PremierLeague.com. I think I might get something over here. Filter by season, though it doesn't. Let me see if I can try and get the all seasons. Right, so he's made 68 appearances for Brentford in the Premier League. 25 goals with his right foot, 3 goals with his left foot, 11 penalties scored, 11 out of the 60-odd goals. So that's not too bad. And then free kick scored only 2. So he's actually pretty decent from open play. He's not so much a set piece merchant.
See, every time I seem to notice him, it seems to be a free kick. I'm sure I've seen him score more than 2 in his life. Hold on, PSG have signed Randall Kolo Munane from Eintracht Frankfurt for a fee of £64.3 million. Hold on, Manny. We'll get back to Kolo Munane in a minute. So just to finish that, Yui, I was wondering who this girl was. Piff as you like. I have to say it straight. And I was like, oh, so was you here watching me? And she was like, no, man, I'm just blazing, chilling, la la la. Anyway, so I didn't say nothing bad or la la la. I'm just a very up or outspoken, whichever way you want to say it, person. So she was just asking a lot of questions about me, la la la. Interested. She went, what's that on your arm? I was like, it's a tattoo. Okay, who is it? I was like, my daughter. Okay, oh, that means she's quite old. La la la. I was like, yeah, I'm a granddad. Da, da, da. Ask me 1,000,001 questions. Da, da, da. And then, after I executed most of the food, kind of fucked off. To be honest with you, he's told me he wants me in the 6th and the 7th and the 8th, pretty much. But I know he shook with me if they had the bandana and my overall fuck you attitude. I remember one of the black girls did come like, oh, I did say someone was waiting for like some cheesy chips. Like, I don't know, you didn't tell me nothing. Oh, no, hold up, you didn't tell me nothing. Say it again. Cheesy chip, bang. Chips back in the fucking fryer. 20 seconds, bang, bang, cheese, bang, go. Do you know what I mean? It's all light work for me. But I think sometimes I scare people with my attitude, didn't it? But then again, I did bark 1 or 2 times at the start of the evening because the girl that I told you I was filling in for, who was on holiday in Spain, shouts out to Sarah, she told me to only order 5 things: lamb chops, rice, and salad, the chicken fillets, rice salad, falafel and salad, macaroni cheese with the 3 chicken goujons on top, and one other thing. Anyway, so the first 2 things was a meze platter, this platter, and a go fuck yourself Egyptian, and a Mohamed Salah stew. So when I see Mohamed Salah stew, I almost had a fucking, I was like, yo! I didn't know the boss's name. I didn't want to call him Egypt. I didn't want to call him Salah because I was calling him Salah most of the night. He said he already told me he didn't like football, so I thought, all right, bless, let's not call you Salah. So I decided yo was appropriate. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought, what is Salah stew? So I was like, yo! And then showed him the WhatsApp, the information, sorry, Manny, that I had to go with. And I got told there'll be 5 things that I'd be asked for. And what are these 2 or 3 here? Obviously, when it's just hummus and fucking pita bread, bros, with olives and a blood clot, you know what I mean? What was that noise? I just dashed that on the plate. But when I see something like Salah stew, I was like, bros, what's this? Oh, and another one come. Hot wings and like fries. I was like, but there's no hot wings here. He's like, oh no, sorry, bro. My wife makes them at home and I bring them from fridge now. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Sarah, you never told me about hot wings. But anyway, so yeah, it was cool, bro. But I might have scared the guy. Best son of the window will be Tilda. Possibly if Cesaro didn't go Chelsea, because for me he's the better midfielder. It would have been him, but he's got his work cut out now because he's at Chelsea. I think us and Man United have made 2 of the worst signings of the window, Havertz and Mount. Yes, but hold on. At least one of the managers, like me and Manny, have touched on more than 1,000 times tonight now, have tried to resurrect it, and he's brought in Sofra and Amrabat. Do you know what I mean? And even when Mount is back in the team or back ready to play, it's either him or Fernandes play for me, or he can fuck off to the left or right wing. Do you know what I mean? Because he won't disturb Sofra and Amrabat and my man, unless they're not doing okay. But Randall Kolo Munane is one of the last deals of this window. I'm sure, as Manny said, there'll be a couple more. Manny, before I disappear, have you got any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Once again, we don't do any good business in the window, and if history is anything to go by, January won't be too much better. No league challenge this time around, and goodbye to the Champions League. Maybe we'll fluke either of the 2 cups and maybe salvage the season. And well done to the other clubs. Forest, I just don't know how the hell you do it, and yet we all know you're going to struggle to stay in the league. Goodbye to all of those whatever ambitions you have, and to those people who saw it fit to join your club, more fool them.
Again, it would be hard for any manager to walk in and sort that out. At least if like he's tried to go again from last season, it seems to be a bit different. I don't know, like with a couple of Brazilians coming in and blah blah blah. But I don't know, innit? They're gonna try again, and it won't be through the lack of effort that will fucking relegate Forest. If 3 other teams, clearly, again, I know I'm stating more the obvious here, but if you know just what I mean. If 3 other teams are more bang in trouble, and Morgan Gibbs White and the Brazilian striker they've just brought in and Brazilian defender happen to be doing half decent, they might be okay. They've got remember they've got what do you call his face? Sorry, the guy that we could have got in the midfielder. I forgot his name. I'm just looking at Man City signings. Garvin Dial, 80 mil. Jeremy Doku, 55 mil. Nunes, 53 mil. Kozovic, 30 mil. 216 million spent. Arsenal spent 130. This is a team that are better than us. We still spent almost half than them. They done their best to get money back. Cole Palmer, Mahrez, Laporte, Trafford, and they've took the fucking list away. Guys, I'm pissed off for this window, man. We seem to fuck up. And we needed a Tavares or a Tierney to stay. The Congo I don't like, but I don't want to see it on any near the team, but I don't know what to say. My final thought is Arsenal, you fucked me over, like, literally. You've just fucked me over. And I'm pissed off. And I think that's about all I've got to say on the subject, man. Pissed off, pissed off, pissed off. Getafe are fucking brave. Going in with Mason Greenwood, Hudson-Odoi, Tavares, a little bit of Premier League experience, but granted, not much at all, actually, between them. I don't know. Forest might have just bought enough to survive. It's going to come down as if they can get any goals, isn't it? Felix to Barcelona. Ain't Barcelona wankers as well? Scream they're broke, they can't do this, can't give Gavi a new contract because they can't fucking break the wage structure, and then they just, go and do the last minute deals. Bollocks. I feel deflated. Manny, have you frozen or are you just listening peacefully?
No, I'm listening peacefully. I mean, it's getting quite late where I am. I really want to go to sleep, but you know, it is what it is. Anytime I get to hop on a stream with you, it's always good fun, and I really want to thank you for that. I don't know if you're going to be doing a watch along for Arsenal United, but
Of course I will.
definitely.
Of course I shall and will. So you can jump in if you like. And again, Champions League is up and running. So pick and choose whatever you like, bruvs. I'm fearing Man United on Sunday now. I'm seeing now the same old. Fuck. Party right
Yep.
back. You can't do
The same old, same old.
You can't just don't put Party at right back. And PSG got their man, 64 mil. 64 mil. Do you know what's going to happen now? So he goes up front, and Mbappe will go left wing. PSG are going to be better off this season. Again, I'm not sure. They won't be smashing up waves in the Champions League, but I think they're going to be better now without the Neymar, without the Messi. And do you know what? Eventually, they'll be better off without Mbappe as well. Like, they're all too big for that French league. You know what I mean? So, there's another final thought. Mbappe, come to the Premier League. Show us how good you are. Like Nicolas Anelka did say, this guy can't pretend or walk around like he's the best and shit hot, like he's the real Dizzle. You know what I mean? Go win the Liga titles. Go in the Champions League like I've done. And go Arsenal and do the double, or go England and do the double like I've done. So interesting. But I do believe Randell Kolo Munani at 64.3 million to PSG could be one of the last ones. Transfer window in England is now closed. No shit. Wolves sign who? Didn't see this, don't know who he is. Jean Rinsa Bella or whatever from Strasbourg for 12.8. That one missed me. Southampton did finally get that guy, I think, from Sunderland over the deal, Ross Stewart, in a deal worth up to £10 million. Rob Holding confirmed at Palace. Brilliant. We doubled our money. Guys, on that note, I'm going to get the F out of here. Please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Manny, you are a fucking legend as always. And, man.
A pleasure, bros. Always a pleasure.
Tell me something I don't know. Everyone went out on loan. The people that are worth money at this club went out on loan, apart from Balogun. But when you're a striker and you score goals for a team that I can't tell you any of their players, Rems, and they're shit, you're going to be wanted all across Europe. Guys, on that note, I'm getting out the building. Good night. God bless. It's 11:50. We've been live for 3 hours and 50 minutes. So that's me. I'm out the building. Shouts out to everyone that did get decent deals done. Chelsea winger, I don't know, has gone to Lyon on loan. There'll be more breaking the next hour or so. Newcastle signed 17-year-old midfielder Travers Herms from Shrewsbury for an undisclosed fee. He'll join the club's academy. Yeah, there's still bits and pieces going on. Guys, on that note, peace out. God bless. I'm out. Shouts out to myself, Danny AFC TV, to Manny as always. Yeah, your transfer deadline has been covered, guys. Arsenal, fucking fruitless. Good night, people. God bless. I'm out.